Chapter 412. These rich people are really strange. The seller didn't know why Sun Yunxing and Wang Yao came to buy such an old house. In fact, Sun Yunxing and Wang Yao bought the house for the right to use the land. Such an old house could be renovated or even demolished. Of course, old houses in some places couldn't be renovated. For example, in some bigger cities, places that were facing demolition, such as the village, these problems naturally didn't exist. Did you know that someone came to our village to buy a house? Our village? Where are they from? I don't know where they are from. They bought an old house. Rich people in the city have different ideas. The young people in our village all want to buy houses in the city. Few of them are willing to come back. When the time comes, they will want to come to our village. Naturally, this kind of weird matter was spread by people with intentions, and it quickly became the topic of discussion in the small mountain village. They bought a house in our village? After hearing the news, Wang Yao was a little surprised. He remembered that Wei Hai seemed to have said something like this before. Yes, they bought an old house. It has been decades. It's about to collapse. It's impossible to live in it. Old house. Yes. Is it allowed to renovate in our village? Yes. Our village doesn't have good management. It's not like those villages near the city. Then it's settled. As long as you spend money to renovate it, there will be no problem. The area of the land will change anyway, Wang Yao said with a smile. But who has nothing to do to buy a house in the village? Wang Yao knew the answer the next day. Are you the ones who bought the house? When Sun Jingrong and Sun Yunxing came, they told him that they had bought a house in the village. Yes, it's better to treat Yunxing's illness. Don't worry, we won't disturb your normal life, Sun Jingrong added. That's not what I meant. Wang Yao waved his hand with a smile. He was purely surprised. He didn't expect that Sun Jingrong would buy two old houses that were about to collapse for this reason. Let's see the doctor first. Did you bring the medicine? Yes. After taking the medicine, Wang Yao massaged his acupoints to speed up the absorption and diffusion of the medicine. Then, he let him rest for a while. After the medicine had spread throughout his body, he began to use neishi to treat him. One was cross and the other was suck. At this time, Sun Yunxing's back was in a very special state. One side was fiery red, like a cloud of fire, while the other side was the color of ordinary skin. The yang toxin was quickly removed, and the toxin hidden in the depths of his internal organs was dissolved by the special medicine made of frost grass. Sun Yunxing's body was gradually getting better, but the current treatment could only prolong his life. After all, his body had been destroyed by the terrible yang toxin. He was not as lucky as Su Xiaoxue to break out of her cocoon and become a butterfly. Are you still using the drugs I gave you to cultivate your body's core? I have been using it all the time, Sun Yunxing hurriedly replied. You can increase the dosage of that medicine. AI. After the treatment, Sun Jingrong asked Sun Yunxing to go to the car and wait for him. Dr. Wang, how is my son's recovery? He could tell that Wang Yao seemed to have something to say, so he stayed behind to ask him about it. He is recovering very well. Can he return to the appearance of a normal person? Well, it is very difficult. Wang Yao hesitated for a moment before telling him the truth. The yang toxin has destroyed most of the foundation of his body. For example, it is like a wooden building on fire. Although the fire has been put out, the pillars supporting the building have been burned. The building can stand for 100 years, but after the fire, it can stand for 20 or 30 years. Facing Sun Jingrong, Wang Yao did not hide. He told him the truth. Sun Jingrong was silent for a while. Is there a way to treat it? Well, I don't have a good way for the time being, Wang Yao said. For the time being? Sun Jingrong was very keen to catch the word, which had some deep meaning. Yes, for the time being, Wang Yao said. He had a magical system with unlimited possibilities in the future. In the past, he could not even grow herbs well. Now, he had set up a spirit array, which gathered the aura from all directions. It could also treat a considerable number of diseases, including some difficult and miscellaneous diseases. In the future, it was not impossible to treat bones. After all, ancient pharmacists were good at treating all kinds of difficult and miscellaneous diseases. If Dr. Wang finds a way to completely cure my son, please let me know as soon as possible, Sun Jingrong said. Okay. After Sun Jingrong and his son left, someone came to measure the two old houses in the afternoon. The two old houses had a very special feature. They were next to each other, so they could build a big house with 8 rooms. After the measurement, someone went to the village's brigade house to discuss the reconstruction of the old houses with the village committee. The discussion was very harmonious. They could renovate the old houses, but the area of the land could not be changed. Who are they? Wang Jianli also felt very strange. It was obvious that they were rich, but why did they come to such a mountain village? Even if they were rich, they could not be so capricious. However, it was good to have some. They could help to contact the sales of some crops in the mountain village. The mountain village was surrounded by mountains. There were still some kinds of cash crops. In the current market situation, the things in the fields could not be sold for much money. When the years were not good, some of them even rotted in the fields. It was great news for them to take the initiative to help them contact the sales. In the afternoon, Wang Yao went to the county town. The medicine he asked Li Maoshuang to buy had arrived. Is there something on your mind? He saw that Li Maoshuang seemed to have something on his mind. Yes, I went to the hospital this morning. My uncle was found to have terminal cancer, Li Maoshuang said. Well, in that position? In the lungs. Does he smoke? Yes, he has smoked all his life, Li Maoshuang said. How old is he? 73 years old. Wang Yao did not speak again. Some human diseases had a lot to do with people's living habit. For example, lung diseases. Smoking was a big cause. You don't know. Look at his suffering. TSK, maybe he is suffering. Li Maoshuang sighed. Don't be too sad. Wang Yao comforted him. Do you think chemotherapy will work? Chemotherapy is a double-edged sword. It can kill the cancer cells, but it can also destroy the normal cell tissues, especially in this kind of old man. His body is already weak, Wang Yao said. This kind of malignant disease destroyed the foundation of the human body. Do you have any good ideas? Li Maoshuang asked. Even if it can reduce the pain. Well, Wang Yao was a little hesitant. In fact, some time ago, he was exploring the topic of treating malignant tumors and had some ideas. He also wanted to find a patient to practice, but it was difficult to find such a person. Mission: face the stubborn disease. Pharmacist: dare to face any disease. Even if you are not strong enough, you should try your best. Treatment of malignant tumors. Reduce the patient's pain and prolong the patient's life. Mission reward: a pack of herb seeds. Punishment: none. The sudden prompt surprised Wang Yao. He could choose not to accept the random mission, but it was the first time he received a mission that did not have a punishment if he failed. Since he was here, he would give it a try. He also wanted to give it a try. I can give it a try, but the process will be quite risky, Wang Yao said. He did not want their relationship to be strained because of this matter. After all, a patient with advanced cancer could die at any time. It's okay. I will communicate with my uncle's family about this. Okay, I need to prepare. Okay. Let's go to the hospital first. I will check on his condition, Wang Yao said. Okay. The two were about to leave. After leaving the house, Wang Yao looked at the sky outside. The sun was a little red and a little dim. Is it appropriate to go to the hospital at this time? Chapter 413. People in China were very particular about many things. For example, visiting a patient was usually done in the morning. If they went in the afternoon, they would not be liked by the patient because it was unlucky. Oh, it's afternoon now. Li Maoshuang also realized this problem. Do you want to go another day? Okay, tomorrow. I'll come again in the morning. Oh, okay, thank you. Li Maoshuang walked Wang Yao to the door. Wang Yao drove back to the mountain village. After dinner, he stayed at home for a while and went straight to Nanshan Hill. There was no light on Nanshan Hill. In the cottage, Wang Yao was thinking about a plan to treat the malignant tumor. He needed to use medicine, and it was not an ordinary medicine. After all, it was a malignant disease, a terminal illness. With this kind of disease, the body was very weak, so he needed to consolidate the corporeity. The recovery of the human body from the disease was actually a process of fighting against the disease. In this process, if one was strong, the enemy would be weak, and if one was weak, the enemy would be strong. For example, if a person in good health had a common cold, fever, or other diseases, he might not need to take injections. If he ate less, he would recover quickly. However, if a person in poor health, taking medicine might not be effective. He needed injections, and the recovery process would be relatively long. Therefore, to fight against the disease, the corporeity was a must. Regather soup was the best choice for corporeity. However, it was a bit expensive. While consolidating the corporeity, he had to consider killing the malignant tumor. Xijan cleared away heat, detoxification, and sarcomas. This was a licorice root for treating tumors. It could be used as the main ingredient in a prescription. Pear grass was used to remove ulcers. This could also be used to remove ulcers, which were malignant sores. Everlasting grass was used to calm the 5 viscera and replenish the loss. This could also be used. It was an excellent tonic. Guiyuan was used to harmonize the efficacy of various medicines. This medicine must be used. Ganoderma lucidum could strengthen the immune system and had a certain anti-tumor effect. It was mild and could be used. Wang Yao was thinking about the composition of the prescription. Unconsciously, he had added several licorice roots and other precious herbs to the prescription. Wang Yao looked carefully. This medicine is not much worse than the life-prolonging pill. Of course, this was only his personal opinion. There were still many difficulties. Firstly, with his current accumulation, it was impossible to gather so many medicines. Secondly, even if this medicine was successfully concocted, its effects would still need to be tested on the spot and not just speculated. Wang Yao wrote down the prescription that he had thought of. Let's gather these herbs first. Because he thought about it for a long time, it was already late at night when he turned off the lights. The next day, Wang Yao got up early and practiced Chinese boxing on the mountain. He walked around the mountain and went down. After returning home, he had breakfast. Then, he drove directly to Lianshan County and arrived at Li Maoshuang's workplace. You're early. Have you eaten? Yes, I have. To the hospital? All right. The two of them sat in Wang Yao's car. Does your uncle treat you well? Yes, very well, Li Maoshuang replied. He has been very good to me since I was a child. He always remembers me for everything. When I got married, he was also very busy. In the first few years after I got married, my life was very difficult. He also helped a lot, Li Maoshuang said. Yes, Wang Yao replied. No wonder Li Maoshuang was so attentive. This could be considered as returning the favor. I will always remember this favor in my heart. After a while, they arrived at the county hospital. In the ward, Wang Yao saw Li Maoshuang's uncle. He was an extremely thin old man. He was all skin and bones. His breathing was weak and his eyes were unfocused. He was sweating in the somewhat cold ward. His sweat was like oil. Wang Yao was shocked when he saw this. Not good. This was a sign that the patient was about to pass away. Your uncle is in danger. Li Maoshuang was shocked. Excuse me. As Wang Yao spoke, he took out the 9 herbs pill that he carried with him from the cabinet and fed it to the patient. Then, he quickly used a unique technique to massage the patient's acupoints. He transferred his qi into the patient's body to protect his internal organs, especially his heart. The movements during this period were a little dazzling. After he finished all this, the old man's condition was slightly stabilized. Phew, that was close. Wang Yao let out a sigh of relief. The old man's condition was too dangerous. According to the current situation, the hospital would not take him in. Mao Shuang, who is this? Oh, he's the Dr. Wang I've often mentioned to you. Hello, Dr. Wang. Li Mao Shuang's uncle's family hurriedly greeted Wang Yao. Hello. During the ward rounds this morning, the attending doctor suggested that we go back. It is useless to stay here any longer, Li Mao Shuang's cousin said. Well, Li Mao Shuang did not answer. He turned to look at Wang Yao. What do you think? Come out and talk. Li Mao Shuang hurriedly followed him out. His cousin came out with him. To be honest, the old man's condition is very dangerous. We know that. Li Mao Shuang's cousin looked a little gloomy. He was very clear about his father's condition. With the current medical conditions, this disease was impossible to cure. It was just torture. Well, I asked Dr. Wang to come over to treat my uncle. You can cure him? Li Mao Shuang's cousin was shocked. I can only try. After all, this is a terminal illness, Wang Yao calmly said. Okay, let's give it a try. As long as it can reduce my father's pain. In the hospital? You can decide, Wang Yao said. So, let's do it in the hospital first? Yes, but I need to take medicine. Okay. Wang Yao did not stay for too long. The old man's condition was very critical. He felt that the best way to deal with it now was to take the old man home and treat him alone. This treatment was definitely better than in the hospital. After all, this was a hospital. There were many things that could not be changed. However, Li Mao Shuang's uncle's family had their own ideas. Let's give it a try. Go back and help me prepare a few sets of medicine. This is the prescription. Wang Yao gave the prescription to Li Mao Shuang and asked him to prepare the medicine. He went back to the mountain village. After parking his car, he hurriedly went to Nanshan Hill. The pear grass had just started to grow. Although it was fully mature, it could be used. Sijan was just a bud at most. It was a waste to use it now. Ganoderma lucidum was ready-made. Everlasting grass was not in stock. Guiyuan was not available either. Wang Yao opened the system panel and looked carefully. No, I don't have enough redemption points. Sell medicine. He sold some of the herbs he had harvested in the field and exchanged them for Guiyuan. He could not do without it to balance the efficacy of various medicines. As for the everlasting grass, this time, he did not need it. When he was busy, he did not consider that he had used so many licorice roots this time. The value of this medicine was too high. The patient did not have enough money to pay for it. Wait. After preparing everything except the everlasting grass, Wang Yao suddenly thought of the meat Ganoderma lucidum he had bought underground. This is good stuff. He walked to the place where he had buried it and dug up the ground. He was surprised. He found that the meat Ganoderma lucidum buried underground had grown. This thing could indeed grow. Not only did it grow, but it also changed color. It was originally white and slightly yellow. Now it was more yellow. This is strange. How can this be? This was a good thing. It had many curative effects in treating diseases. It also had a considerable effect in anti-tumor. It could effectively regulate the human body's immune function. Some of its components could directly suppress tumors. The key point was that it had no toxic effect on the body. You can try adding a little bit of this, Wang Yao said. He gently plucked it and tore off a piece. Some beige liquid immediately flowed out of the wound. Will you feel pain? Some people thought it was the origin of plants and animals. Wang Yao was busy on the hill. He even forgot the time. When he was almost done, it was already afternoon. Phew, I'll stop here first. I'll start to decoct the medicine tomorrow. When it was close to evening, He packed up the things in the cottage and went down the hill. When he returned home, he found that there was a guest at home. Yao is back. She was an elder from the same village. Wang Yao had treated her illness not long ago. At that time, she felt bloated, sore, and had a burning sensation in her stomach. After the diagnosis, Wang Yao prescribed her traditional Chinese medicine. "Auntie, I've been waiting for you for a while." "Oh, I just came down from the hill. What can I do for you?" Wang Yao said. "It's still my illness. Your medicine didn't have any effect," the middle-aged woman said. "No effect?" Wang Yao was stunned. It was impossible. This disease was not a chronic disease. Logically speaking, the medicine didn't need a course of treatment. It would be strange if it only needed 3 doses of medicine. How could it not have any effect? "Let me take a look for you again." "Okay." Wang Yao carefully checked her again. "Auntie, you've eaten a lot of fish recently, right?" Wang Yao calmly asked. Yes, I've eaten a little bit. I like fish very much." "That can't be helped. When I gave you the medicine, I told you that this medicine can't be eaten," Wang Yao said. It was not uncommon for patients to not listen to the doctor's advice. "Can you give me 2 more doses of medicine?" the middle-aged woman asked. "There's no need for that." Wang Yao's words were already a little cold. "What's wrong?" The middle-aged woman was stunned. "You can't control your mouth. This disease can't be cured." Wang Yao told the truth, although it was a little unpleasant to hear. "How can you say that?" Zhang Xiuying scolded at the side. The middle-aged woman looked a little embarrassed after hearing that. In fact, the medicine that Wang Yao prescribed to her had an effect after taking 2 doses. She could feel that her body felt a little better. Then, she couldn't control herself and began to eat some forbidden things. Then it got worse. After the medicine was finished, she came to Wang Yao and wanted him to prescribe her another dose of medicine. Chapter 4:14. Wang Yao didn't continue to speak. For such a patient, no matter how much and how good the medicine was, it wouldn't have any effect. If she didn't listen to advice and committed the crime again after being cured, it would be better not to treat her. "Well, I'll leave first." The middle-aged woman was stunned for a while. Seeing that Wang Yao didn't speak, she directly got up and left. "Well, sister-in-law, I'm sorry." Zhang Xiuying got up to see her out. Wang Yao just said a little at the side. After returning, Zhang Xiuying said to Wang Yao, "You child, what's the matter?" "She's an elder, and she's from the same village. Can you be more careful when you speak?" "I'm telling the truth," Wang Yao calmly said. "I've prescribed her medicine. It's definitely effective, but she has to avoid certain foods." But she didn't listen at all and continued to be prescribed medicine. "It's a waste to take it. It's better not to take it. We're from the same village. We see each other all day long. Our relationship can't be strained." "Well, I'll try to be more careful in the future," Wang Yao said. He would try to avoid such people as much as possible in the future. "What? You don't want to prescribe it? Why?" After returning home, the middle-aged woman told the situation to her daughter. Her daughter listened and asked curiously. "She said that I didn't listen to advice and didn't avoid certain foods. It's a waste to take the medicine." "Then can't you avoid certain foods?" "Forget it. If she doesn't want to prescribe it, then don't prescribe it." The middle-aged woman heard and waved her hand. She was still a little angry. In her opinion, they were from the same village. Anyway, she was an elder. She didn't expect the young man to be so disrespectful. Just because he's a little capable, he has a big temper. She had a problem with Wang Yao. During dinner in the evening, Wang Yao mentioned the matter of the houses in the village. "Dad, do you know who in the village wants to sell a house?" "Well, why do you suddenly ask about this?" "Nothing, just casually asking. A few days ago, a friend said that the air in our village is good. He asked if we have a house in our village. He wants to buy a house and live here for a period of time when he's free. I don't pay attention to this. When I'm free, I'll ask you. All right. Wang Yao wasn't in a hurry. He didn't know if Wei Hai and the others were just casually talking about it and didn't really plan to buy a house here. After dinner, the whole family was together, watching TV and chatting. It was quite good. Tong Wei hasn't been back for a while, right? Zhang Xiuying mentioned her future daughter-in-law. Yeah, it's been a while. She's been quite busy recently, Wang Yao said. They had just spoken on the phone last night. When are you guys going to settle the matter? Well, she hasn't said anything yet, Wang Yao said. In fact, he was still hesitating. Hey, is it your problem? No. She's a good girl. Don't have any other ideas. Okay, I got it. After changing the topic, Wang Yao gave his parents a massage to loosen their muscles and bones. Then, he went up the mountain. The wind was a little cold. When he exhaled, it turned into mist. Vomit. He heard something and looked in the direction of the sound. He saw a person vomiting under a big tree across the river. Across the river, Wang Yao could smell the smell of alcohol. He drank too much again. He took a look and then turned around to go up the mountain. The person was still vomiting under the tree. After going up the mountain, Wang Yao checked the herbs that he had prepared during the day again. He was going to decoct the medicine the next day. After everything was ready, he straightened out his thoughts. Then, he turned off the lights and went to sleep. The night passed peacefully. The next day, the sun rose from the east. Firewood, ancient spring water, multifunctional pot for herbs, all kinds of licorice root. He chose to decoct the medicine in the early morning. At that time, the sun rose from the east, full of vitality. In addition, the spirit-gathering battle array was full of spirit. Medicine was particular about the timing. Crackle. The firewood burned. Sijan, Lingji, pear grass, herbs were added one by one. Most of them were licorice root. Wang Yao was like an artist at this time. He was carefully sculpting his work. He was neither in a hurry nor slow. He was calm. Outside, the sky. The sun rose from the east and moved into the middle of the sky. Between heaven and earth, the yang qi gradually increased. It's done. He took the multifunctional pot for herbs away from the stove and waited for the temperature to cool down a little. After filtering out the dregs, he put the medicine into a white porcelain bottle. Phew! Wang Yao breathed a sigh of relief and looked up at the sky outside. It was already noon. He packed up his things and went home for lunch. What? Someone died. As soon as he returned home, Wang Yao heard the news from his mother. Yes, Wang Chongming in the west of the village drank too much last night. He got up in the morning to go to the toilet and fell in the courtyard. After that, he never got up. It seems to be a myocardial infarction, Zhang Xiuying said. Last night, drunk. Wang Yao thought of the man vomiting while holding the tree trunk when he went out. Could it be such a coincidence? Things in the world were unpredictable. A second ago, a person could be fine, but in the blink of an eye, he could fall down. It's a pity. He was a good person, but he liked to drink. It's a pity, Wang Yao said. If he had gone to take a look at him, maybe he would not have died. Was this God's will? In the Lianshan County Hospital. I've told you that with the patient's current situation, there is no point in continuing to stay in the hospital. I suggest you go home. It will be good for the patient. The staff in the hospital were helping the patient's family. There was no way around the late-stage cancer. The difference was how long the patient could last. Doctor, we're thinking about it. Okay, very soon. The hospital is a little short of beds now. The doctor left. They did not want the patient to die in the hospital. If that happened, even if they were not responsible for the treatment, it would affect their reputation. Why don't we go back? Let's wait for another day. I think our father looks better today. After lunch, Wang Yao told his parents and drove to town to find Li Maoshuang. This is the medicine you asked me to prepare. Can you see how it is? As soon as they met, Li Maoshuang took out a medicine jar and let Wang Yao see how it was brewing. "It's okay," Wang Yao said after looking at it. In fact, in his eyes, the decoction was not up to standard, but not everyone was like him, who had extraordinary pharmaceutical skills. "I've also prepared a medicine here. Let's go to the hospital now." It was already 1 o'clock in the afternoon. "That's right. We can afford to wait, but your uncle can't." "Okay, let's stay here first." The two of them drove to the county hospital. His uncle's family was discussing whether to be discharged. "Maoshuang, why are you here?" "Dr. Wang has prepared medicine to treat my uncle's illness," Li Maoshuang said. His cousin's reaction was not so enthusiastic. After all, it was cancer. There was no medicine that could cure it. "Do you want to give it a try?" "Let's give it a try," his cousin said. Anyway, this was the situation. Wang Yao fed the old man a small cup of the medicine he brewed in the morning, followed by the medicine brewed by Li Maoshuang. After taking the medicine, Wang Yao stayed in the ward for nearly an hour to observe the old man's condition. After checking the old man's pulse, he felt that his idea was correct. The medicine he brewed also had a considerable effect. "Okay, there shouldn't be a big problem. Today's treatment will end here. I'll come again tomorrow," Wang Yao said. "Okay, thank you." Wang Yao left by himself. Li Maoshuang was asked to stay by his cousin. "Brother, what's the matter?" Is the doctor you found reliable?" "Yes, of course," Li Maoshuang said. "As far as I know, he has cured a lot of difficult and complicated diseases. He also went to Beijing to treat some rich and powerful people. He was the one who diagnosed my disease. Well, I just think he's so young. He's really capable." Li Maoshuang looked at his cousin's situation. Obviously, he was skeptical of Wang Yao. He didn't know how to dispel his doubts. In his opinion, since his uncle's illness had reached this stage, to put it bluntly, it was a matter of whether he could live a few more days or a few days less. He didn't mind giving it a try. At least he tried his best. Even if it could only alleviate the old man's illness, it would be good. "I'll go back first. Look for me if you need anything." "Okay." After Li Maoshuang left, there were only a few people left in the ward. "Is the young man reliable?" "Let's give it a try." The siblings stayed in front of the window. They were afraid that it would be too late to regret after they left. The atmosphere in the ward was very depressing. "Water." The old man lying on the bed opened his dim eyes and spoke in a hoarse and weak voice. "Dad, you're awake." The woman closest to the old man trembled and came to the bed. "Water." "Okay, I'll give you some water." A little bit of warm water was poured into the old man's mouth. "How do you feel?" "Okay." The old man sighed. As children, what they wanted was to have peace of mind. How could he be better when he was so ill? "I feel better," the old man said. He did feel better. His body seemed to have some strength. "That's good." At this time, the children could not do much other than gather around the bed to show their filial piety. In the mountain village, after Wang Yao returned to the clinic, he recorded the treatment process and the old man's performance. This was very rare first-hand information, which was worth reference in the future. How long can he last? How much can he change? The next day, some people came to the mountain village. The construction team directly demolished the two old houses and took out the construction waste. Sun Jingrong and his son came again. Sun Yunxing's condition was gradually improving. Most of the yang toxins in his body had been removed. This was due to the dual effect of Wang Yao's medicine and neishi. Chapter 4:15. It was the same treatment. It was the combination of neishi and medicine. Phew! After the treatment, Sun Yunxing breathed a sigh of relief. Now, he really felt like he had been reborn. After chatting for a while, Sun Yunxing went out. Sun Jingrong stayed. "What's the matter?" "Dr. Wang, can I ask how my son's condition is?" "He's recovering well. He had asked this question 3 days ago, and Wang Yao had also answered it. Well, Dr. Wang, can my son still have the ability to have children? Sun Jingrong thought for a while and asked. Have children? It turned out that he stayed to ask this question. It's difficult, Wang Yao said. The yang toxin was like a raging fire, torturing all the tissues in his body from head to toe, from shallow to deep. It was already a miracle that he was still alive. In order to prolong his son's life, Sun Jingrong had found out the strange method of using a woman's primordial yin to adjust the yang toxin. In this way, his son's primordial yang leaked out. It was very difficult for him to become a human being. Oh, can you think of a way? Sun Jingrong obviously didn't want to give up. He didn't know how long his son's life could last with such a big family business. It was a terrible punishment for him if he couldn't have children. I'll try my best, Wang Yao said. Thank you. After seeing Sun Jingrong and his son off, Wang Yao went back to his room and thought about Sun Yunxing's condition. Thousands of miles away in Shangjuan, Dr. Long, why are you so concerned about this road? Well, wasn't there an epidemic there? I've been there. The transportation is too inconvenient. Because of this, some people's treatment was delayed. Well, Dr. Long, your mind is really admirable. You still don't forget the people in the difficult areas. Don't worry, I'll try my best to help you. I'll inform you as soon as I have news. Thank you very much. Long Yunfei was pushed away in a wheelchair. Hey, Director Zhang, who is this person? He's an official of the Provincial Health Department. What is he doing here? I'm here to inquire about the traffic planning in our county. Why would an official of the Ministry of Health ask about this? Besides, he's in a wheelchair. The clerk asked curiously. Don't be fooled by his wheelchair. His connections are extraordinary. He contributed greatly to the fight against the epidemic last time. He was even praised by one of the higher-ups. It's a pity that he's in such a situation now. Otherwise, he would definitely be promoted, Director Zhang lamented. In this day and age, there aren't many people like him who care about the suffering of the people. What about the road? It's not like you don't know the situation in our county. Where would we find the money to build such a road? It would cost at least a few million, right? Yes, only more, not less. That's right. If our county had the money, they wouldn't have built the road first. After coming out of the relevant department in Jia County, Long Yunfei didn't feel angry. His experience in the past few days seemed to have broadened his mind a lot. He had thought about such an experience in advance. After all, this was a poor county. There wasn't much money. Even if the finance department had the money, they wouldn't have built the road. After all, it was a remote mountain village with no resources. Good steel should be used on the blade's edge. Dr. Long, why do you care so much about the things here? The person who came with him asked. Long Yunfei didn't speak. He quietly looked at the sky. He didn't want to. If possible, he would rather have never come here and never met that damn young man. However, no one had so many ifs. It was just like there was no medicine for regret in the world. Let's think of other ways. In Lianshan County, in the county hospital, hey, what's going on? The doctor in charge of the ward rounds found that the patient's condition seemed to be better than yesterday. Have you eaten anything today? Just a little bit of obscenity. What about God? He's a little better than yesterday. He feels a little more awake. He also said something. Good. This time, the doctor in charge of the ward rounds didn't urge them to leave. What's going on? Hey, is that doctor's medicine working? I hope so. Li Maoshuang's cousin was worried about another possibility. Could it be that the old man had a momentary lucidity before death? The sky in Jing, which was thousands of miles away, was not very blue. In the old courtyard, leaves fell all over the ground. It was a little bleak. Su Xiaoxue, who was sitting in a wheelchair, looked at the sky. This was the first time in years that she got out of bed and looked at the sky outside. Even though her body was almost unable to move, her skin had returned to normal. She was no longer afraid of the floating and ubiquitous microbes floating in the air. She was not afraid of the infections caused by the things that were used to treat diseases. Phew, the air outside is so comfortable. This was a long-lost taste of freedom. When could she go out for a walk? When could she go out by herself and see if this familiar Jing was still the same as before? Xiaoxue, go back to the house. It's cold outside. Mom, I'll stay for a few more minutes. Oh, okay. Song Ruiping looked at her daughter lovingly. When is Dr. Wang going to come again? In another courtyard in Jing, Chen Ying also sighed with emotion. During this period of time, she had gone to see her brother. His condition was gradually getting better, which made the doctors in the hospital feel magical. However, in the past 2 days there had been a sudden relapse. It was like a curve. It reached the top and then began to slide down. No one knew what it was. It's been so long. You should come, Chen Ying said. The wind was a little cold. On the mountain, Wang Yao held his hand in the air. His body was in a unique posture. It was as if he had one foot on the ground and one hand was supporting the sky. This was a posture in the boxing classic. Breathe in. Open. His posture suddenly changed. His palm rotated in the air, suddenly withdrew, and then slapped out. There was a bang. It was as if thunder had exploded in midair. At this moment, the qi and blood all over his body were surging. Wang Yao guided the qi in place for a few cycles and stopped. Ring. Buzz. It was Li Maoshuang who called. What? The final radiance of the setting sun? No, it's the effect of the medicine. Yes, don't worry. Okay, that's good. After Li Maoshuang hung up the phone, he told his cousin about Wang Yao's explanation. His cousin still seemed to be a little worried. Don't doubt this and that. Anyway, my uncle's illness has become like this. I've told you that Dr. Wang's medical skills are different. You have to believe in him. Okay. Li Maoshuang's cousin nodded. He now somewhat believed in Wang Yao's medical skills. When will he come again? Tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm ready. In fact, he didn't have anything to prepare at all. He just needed to cooperate when the time came. The next morning, Wang Yao went down the mountain early. He still had to go to Lianshan County. Are you going to town? Yes, to see a patient. Mom will arrange a task for you, Zhang Xiuying said. What is it? Tell me. Your sister. My sister? Wang Yao was stunned. Oh, you mean my brother-in-law? Wang Yao said. Yes, I think the young man who came last time is good. You can ask about his situation. Your sister won't tell us the truth, Zhang Xiuying said. She was very concerned about her daughter's marriage. Don't worry, no problem. After breakfast, Wang Yao drove to the People's Hospital in Lianshan County. This time, the attitude of Li Maoshuang's uncle's family seemed to have changed a lot. They became more cooperative. It was the same treatment as last time. Thank you, Dr. Wang. After the treatment, Li Maoshuang's cousin took the initiative to express his gratitude. You're welcome. Don't forget to take this medicine. Wang Yao was referring to the medicine that Li Maoshuang decocted to strengthen the body's corporeity. He naturally had to carry the medicine that he decocted to remove the tumor with him. Okay. The family member accompanying the bed sent him out of the ward. The attitude of your uncle's family is a bit strange today. Chapter 4:16. But, my uncle's condition is much better today, Li Maoshuang said. Is that a good thing? It's because of you. Ha ha. Wang Yao smiled. He understood what Li Maoshuang meant. What did the hospital say? Are they still urging them to leave? I didn't hear them talk about this today. I think they won't urge them for the time being, Li Maoshuang said. Well, that's good. If there's nothing else, I'll go back first. Hey, wait. How much is the medicine? Li Maoshuang had heard from Wei Hai and Tian Yuantu that Wang Yao's medicine was extraordinary and quite expensive. Well, let's talk about it later, Wang Yao said after a moment of silence. The value of his medicine was immeasurable. He used licorice roots that were unique in the world. He treated incurable diseases that were difficult to treat in the world. Okay. Li Maoshuang did not insist. After leaving the hospital, Wang Yao drove to his sister's place. Hey, there's still a task to complete. Investigate his future brother-in-law. Well, Wang Yao turned the steering wheel and drove to Wang Mingbao's place. Well, what's the situation with you recently? Why do you always come to the county town? Is Tong Wei back? No. While talking, Wang Mingbao made a cup of hot tea for him. When are you going to go to Jia County again? Not for the time being. Ms. Han took a week off to deal with something, Wang Mingbao said. Really? What's the matter? Wang Mingbao asked. I'm not sure. She didn't tell me in detail. It seems that someone in her family is getting married. She went back to help arrange it. There are some other things, Wang Mingbao said. Hey, do you know anyone in the Education Bureau? Education Bureau? No, I don't. Why? Hey, I want to help investigate someone, Wang Yao said. Who is it? Maybe my future brother-in-law. Your brother-in-law? Why are you investigating him? Nonsense, I have to see what kind of person he is. After all, this is related to my sister's lifelong happiness, Wang Yao said. That's easy. If you don't have any acquaintances, you can ask around. Leave this to me. Tell me, what's your name? Du Mingyang, there's one thing. Others have discovered it. No problem. It's not the first time I've done something like this, Wang Mingbao said with a smile. Right, there's one more thing. What is it? Have you heard about the latest plan for our village? What's the plan for our village? Building roads and houses, Wang Yao said. No, it's just our village. It's surrounded by mountains and there are no resources. It's impossible to build a road from there. Why are you suddenly asking about this? Nothing, just asking, Wang Yao said. Don't go back at noon. Why don't you stay for lunch? I'll go back. I still have something to do. When Wang Yao returned to the mountain village, he parked his car and went home. His mother was busy at home, preparing lunch. His father had not come back yet. Get ready to eat. Okay. A few minutes after the meal was ready, Wang Fenghua came back from outside. Yao, there's a car outside the clinic. Go and see if it's waiting for you, Wang Fenghua said. It's time to eat. Why don't you go after lunch? The patient is more important. Okay, I'll go and have a look, Wang Yao said. He went out of the house and headed south. As expected, he saw a car outside the clinic. Before he got close, someone got out of the car. Dr. Wang, you're here. The man was of medium height and a little pale. There was not much expression in his eyes. His voice was weak. He was in poor health. It was Lu Xian, the man who came with Su Changhe a few days ago. His disease was very similar to Wei Hai's. It was also caused by poisonous insects entering his organs. It was a difficult disease. The last time he came, Wang Yao had already treated him with miasma grass. Let's talk inside. Wang Yao opened the door of the clinic and let him in. Do you feel better? Much better. Much better. Lu Song hurriedly nodded. It was because he felt that his body had improved significantly after taking Wang Yao's medicine. At the very least, his internal organs were no longer in so much pain. Only then did he realize that Professor Su was right. This young man who did not seem to be from the old city did indeed have medical skills that did not match his age. Therefore, he came directly to Lianshan County. Can I trouble you to take a look at me again? Okay. Wang Yao diagnosed him again. The medicine was definitely effective. You must stick to the things I told you about in life. I can definitely do that. I've been a vegetarian recently. That's not necessary. It's okay to eat some meat, but avoid fish. Eat less meat, Wang Yao said. What about the medicine last time? There's more here. Wait a moment. Wang Yao got up and walked to another room. He took out the medicine that he had brewed a long time ago from the system grid. He gave Lucien a small cup of this medicine last time. He did not let him take all of it. You can take this medicine with you. Use it together with the prescription I gave you last time, Wang Yao said. Okay. In fact, this was the purpose of Lucien's visit. Dr. Wang, this medicine? $100,000. Wang Yao raised one finger. Magic medicine was priceless and could not be given away easily. Okay, I'll pay right away. This time, Lucien was obviously more straightforward than last time. He wouldn't even bat an eyelid if he could cure his illness with 100,000 yuan. Sorry to disturb you. Okay. You can have another checkup in 10 days to see how well you've recovered. Okay. After sending Lucien off, Wang Yao went home for lunch. His parents had finished eating. The leftovers were in the pot for him to heat. The patient has left? Yes. Yao, have you done what I asked you to do in town? I've asked Ming Bao to find out if I know anyone in the Ministry of Education, Wang Yao said. What do you want to know? Wang Fenghua asked after listening. Someone, your son-in-law. That Xiao Du who came last time? Yes, that's him. Well, I think he's a good person, Wang Fenghua said. 2 bottles of wine and 2 cartons of cigarettes were enough to buy you over? This has nothing to do with that. When Wang Yao finished lunch, it was already past 2 p.m. He left home and went straight to Nanshan Hill. In the mountain village, the demolition of the 2 old houses bought by Sun Jingrong had been completed. The garbage in the old houses had been cleared out. The workers had started to dig the foundation. The new house project was progressing in an orderly manner. Wow, he's really rich. Are they going to demolish and rebuild? What's so good about that? You don't understand. A fortune teller said that the feng shui in our village is good. How is it good? It's surrounded by mountains on all sides, Wang Yao said. Nonsense. None of the nearby villages are better than ours. Even Lijiagu, which used to be worse than us, has developed hot springs. I heard that they are going to build a resort. In Jing, thousands of miles away, the temperature had dropped a lot. She was not allowed to wear warm clothes on her bed. Su Xiaoxue was sitting in a wheelchair in the small courtyard, looking at the sky outside. She could stay outside for a period of time every day, but she could not stay outside for too long. She was still in poor health. She did not want to catch a cold. Although she wanted to stay outside, she was tired of staying in her room day and night. She had stayed in her room for several years. She was tired of lying in the hospital bed. Sistering, do you think I can go to see Dr. Wang? Su Xiaoxue would call Wang Yao Dr. Wang when she talked to other people. Of course, it was not Dr. Wang, but a form of respect. I'm afraid you can't, Chen Ying said. Chen Ying followed behind her. She often came back to stay with Su Xiaoxue for a while these days. She chatted with her and inevitably mentioned Wang Yao. Wang Yao was about the same age as them, but there were too many mysteries about him. Well, I can't go now, but I should be able to go soon, Su Xiaoxue said. Her smile was beautiful and bright, like the sunshine in spring, like a blooming flower. Chen Ying also smiled after hearing that. She was now very envious of Su Xiaoxue, who was in front of her. Su Xiaoxue was also seriously ill. When almost everyone thought that she could not recover and could only lie in the hospital bed and wait to slowly die, Dr. Wang appeared and brought all kinds of miracles. He forcibly snatched her back from the hands of the impending god of death. Then, he treated her again and again, turning rotten into magical changes, and made her body recover step by step. In the darkness, she saw the light. What about her brother? She also saw hope, but now there was a reversal. Dr. Wang, when can you come again? Su Xiaoxue's eyes were clear and bright. She was still taking the medicine according to the prescription to recover her lost vitality. The medicine alone was not enough to have such an effect. The neishi in her body had been strengthened a lot, and this stream of neishi played a considerable role in the recovery of her body. According to the method taught by Wang Yao, she could gradually urge the neishi. However, she was not clear about the meridians in her body, so she could not make better use of it. Whoosh! A gust of wind blew and the leaves rustled. It's cold. Let's go inside. Okay, let's call it a day. Chen Ying helped Su Xiaoxue into the room. After settling her down, she chatted with her for a while. Then, she said goodbye to the home servant and left. She has something on her mind. Su Xiaoxue, who was sitting in front of the window, looked at Chen Ying's back and whispered, "Are you still worried about his younger brother?" "Her brother?" "Yes." "Oh, miss, you may not know, but her brother is now in the hospital." "Is it still because of mental problems?" "Yes, it's not stable yet." "Didn't she ask Dr. Wang to take a look?" "She should have." Chapter 4:17. That night, Wang Yao received a call from Zhou Xiong, who asked if he would be at home these days. He was going to send his uncle for treatment. Wang Yao didn't plan to go out these days, so he agreed. "He is in Lianshan County," Zhou Xiong said to his brother after hanging up the phone. "Shall we go there?" "Okay." His uncle's illness had been slightly improved after Sanguzi's treatment, but the effect was not great. Moreover, his meridians were severely blocked. If it went on like this, even if he could live, his kung fu would definitely be wasted. Although it was said that people were old and had seen through some things, their efforts in this lifetime could only be maintained day by day, right? Wang Mingbao also went back to the mountain village, and brought back the news of Du Mingyang. He was a very good person. "That's good," Wang Yao said. The matter of meeting a bad person didn't only appear in novels and TV shows, it also existed in real life. On the same day, Wang Yao received another piece of good news. Under the operation of Tian Yuan-tu and Wei Hai, their application for Nanshan Charity Foundation had been filed with the relevant departments. It was thanks to the strong support and help of the professional introduced by Sun Jingrong. "Well, this matter is worth celebrating," Wang Yao said happily. "Let's do it today." "Okay, no problem." They gathered together in Lianshan County and happily talked about this matter. The name of the legal person was Wang Yao. They discussed the registration fund of 2 million yuan. Wang Yao insisted on it, so he contributed 1 million yuan. Tian Yuan-tu and Wei Hai each contributed 1 million yuan. Wang Mingbao contributed 100,000 yuan. The rest of the people were the participants. They didn't contribute for the time being. In addition to the registration fund for Tian Yuan-tu, the rest of the money was used to maintain the normal operation. "I've also chosen a place to work," Tian Yuan-tu said. His company owned a property in Hike City. It was relatively easy to recruit talent. In fact, such a charitable organization didn't need a big place. The next step was to recruit people. The personnel must be chosen well, especially the manager. Teacher Fan introduced a friend who has relevant experience. Then hire him. This matter required long-term planning. It couldn't be settled with a pat on the head. During the meal, Wang Yao also asked about the famous doctors in the county. "I remember there was a selection before," Pan Jun said. "Selection?" "Yes, it's a title," Wang Yao said. "The person recommended by the medical departments in the county." "Why are you suddenly asking about this?" "Nothing much. How often do you choose?" "Once a year." "Yes. You want to choose?" "I want to try," Wang Yao said. "That's a little troublesome. You don't have a unit to rely on right now," Pan Jun said. "I'm not in a hurry," Wang Yao said with a smile. In this kind of selection, people with a unit had a huge advantage. After the meal, they found a tea house to stay for a while. They didn't leave until it was dark. The next afternoon, Zhou Xiong came to the mountain village with his uncle. It was the old man's first time here. Well, this clinic is not bad. Wang Yao's clinic was the most conspicuous building in the village. Wang Yao, who had received the news, had been waiting in the clinic for a long time. The old man's body was very thin, and he didn't look well. "Hello, Dr. Wang." "Hello." The group of people entered Wang Yao's clinic. It was the turn of autumn and winter, but the plants in the courtyard were still green and lush. Occasionally they could see a few fallen leaves. Why is that? More than one person wondered. Wang Yao just smiled and didn't explain. It was a little cold in the room. After seeing the old man, Wang Yao felt that the old man's body was very poor. The channels and collaterals were blocked, and the remaining toxins were not removed. After the diagnosis, Wang Yao discussed with them. They felt that the old man's current situation was more dangerous. Since they had already come, it was better to stay and receive systematic treatment. "Okay," Zhou Xiong said. In fact, they also thought so before they came. Anyway, he had rented a house in Lianshan County before. "Let me give you treatment first." When Wang Yao gave the massage, he also used Neishi. Zhou Wui was stunned. Neishi. He was a person who practiced martial arts, so he was familiar with it. I didn't expect Dr. Wang to be able to release Neishi at such a young age. This was something that people who practiced martial arts dreamed of. Wang Yao just smiled. When he checked the old man's body, he found that there was still some residual qi in the old man's body. This was also the result of the old man's practice. People who practiced martial arts trained their muscles, bones, and skin externally and practiced their qi internally. It was somewhat similar to Neishi that he practiced, but it was more manic. Because of the blockage of the channels and collaterals, it couldn't circulate freely. Wang Yao transferred his Neishi into Zhou Wui's body. Some of the blocked channels and collaterals could be opened up immediately. Zhou Wui only felt that the places where Wang Yao's hands touched his body were warm and very comfortable. The treatment took about 1.5 hours. The old man felt that his body was much more transparent. The fatigue and pain in his body were also reduced a lot. "I should have come earlier," he thought. "Thank you, Dr. Wang." "You're welcome. Keep taking the medicine I gave you to consolidate your corporeity." "Yes, I've been taking it." After chatting for a while, the family took their leave. "Dad, how do you feel?" "I feel much better. I should have come earlier." He hadn't settled down in the village before. "It's not too late to come now," Zhou Xiong said. He drove to the house he rented in Lianshan County. It was less than half an hour's drive from the mountain village. The road was newly built, very wide, and very convenient. "It's cold." The old man sighed. In the past, this kind of temperature didn't affect him at all. It was different now. His body was very weak. Even if he wore thick clothes, he still felt cold. "I've already told the landlord. It should be able to heat up soon." The weather became cold suddenly. In just one night the temperature dropped several degrees. In winter, there was basically no work in the village. Even if it was a rare rest in a year, there was basically no work in the village. They would visit each other, chat, and do some chores. There were also a few people who went to Wang Yao's clinic. The results were quite good. The villagers also knew that this young man was really good at medicine. Some people with problems would go to his clinic. Even if he was not there, they would go directly to his home to find him. Thousands of miles away in Jing, Lu Xian had been vomiting and having diarrhea for 3 days. This was the result of taking the decoction he got from Wang Yao. He was in pain and hope. This was detoxification. However, what he vomited was not only acid water and food, but also some extravasated blood. He had once been afraid and consulted Su Changhe. Su Changhe suggested that he should continue the treatment because, according to the test results, some of his physical indicators were indeed improving significantly. It had only been a few days. "Can I see your decoction?" "Of course." Unlike Wei Hai, Lu Xian obviously didn't trust Wang Yao to that extent. He gave the decoction and prescription he brought from Wang Yao to Su Changhe. I'll keep some of this decoction. Okay. Don't give this prescription to others. Okay. In fact, Su Changhe knew that he had violated the taboo by doing this, but he really wanted to know what kind of decoction could have such a significant effect. In the past few days, Wang Yao went to the county hospital every other day to treat Li Maoshuang's uncle. In just 3 days, the old man's condition showed a rare improvement, which was rare. This surprised the doctors in the hospital. This is really strange. What's going on? For this matter, they held a special meeting. They carefully checked the old man's test result. There is no problem with the test results. So, this is the reason for our treatment. They didn't feel confident or reliable when they said this. The decoction was still the same as before. It was all according to the script. There was nothing too creative about it. The key was that they didn't dare to do it. It was not a headache or a cold. It was a terminal cancer, an incurable disease. It could be explained if it was in Jing or Shanghai, but the problem was in this small county. Chapter 4:18. Is there no way? Su Xiaoxue asked. I don't know. I didn't ask, the servant said. Okay, Su Xiaoxue said. Su Xiaoxue looked out of the window. She felt a warm feeling in her lower abdomen. The neishi was circulating within a certain range. The scenery outside is so beautiful, Su Xiaoxue said. Yes, the servant said. In fact, there was nothing beautiful about the scenery outside. It was already early winter, when everything was bleak. However, for Su Xiaoxue, who had been in bed for several years and had not gone out, the scenery outside was beautiful. Ding! The doorbell rang. Mr. Guo is here to see you, someone downstairs said. Let him in, Su Xiaoxue said. Okay, Su Xiaoxue said. Guo Jinghe went upstairs with a box of precious tonics. Xiaoxue, are you looking at the scenery outside again? Brother Jinghe, you are here. Please have a seat, Su Xiaoxue said. Guo Jinghe had been coming to see Su Xiaoxue more frequently in the past few days, especially after he saw Su Xiaoxue's recovered face. He didn't expect Su Xiaoxue to still be so beautiful after recovering from her illness. She was even more beautiful than before. Before she got this strange disease, her beauty was well known among these families. Because of this, the elders of the two families joked about her. He really wanted to marry her now. The Guo family also needed such a strong support. She had recovered her beauty. Dr. Wang is so amazing. Although Guo Jinghe had seen all kinds of people, he had to admit that Wang Yao's achievements in medical skills were absolutely second to none. To be able to bring a dying person back to life, to be able to restore a disfigured face, this kind of medical skill was almost divine. Guo Jinghe and Su Xiaoxue talked very happily. Although he was young, he had been in the field of romance for a long time. Su Xiaoxue was as pure as a snow lotus. She was too easy to fool. Guo Jinghe had achieved the purpose of his visit by making Su Xiaoxue happy. Girls were meant to be coaxed, and he couldn't be too hasty. What a pure girl! Guo Jinghe sighed. She should be a good wife. When he came to the yard, he did not forget to look back at the second floor. Su Xiaoxue, who was looking at him through the window, waved her hand. The smile on her face was as bright and warm as the sun. He decided that he would come over and chat with her whenever he had the chance. Hypocrite! Su Xiaoxue said these two words softly. Miss, what did you say? It's nothing. You said that he's the deputy county head now. Isn't he busy? He must be very busy. However, he is the eldest son of the Guo family after all. Perhaps he is here to make some connections. I heard that the county he is in is very poor, the very poor kind, the servant behind her said. Very poor? Yes. What about Lianshan? Lianshan County? I don't know. The servant was stunned. She had never heard of Lianshan County. She didn't know why the young lady suddenly asked about it. Forget it, Su Xiaoxue said with a smile. AI. The old woman decided that when she had time later, she would look up the location of Lianshan County that the young lady had asked about and find out what was so special about it. At noon, Song Ruiping came back from outside. Her daughter's condition had improved significantly. She had gone out several times to do something these days. Xiaoxue. As soon as she got home, she went upstairs to see her daughter without even taking a sip of water. Mom, you are back. Hey, you are back. How was it at home this morning? Every time she came back, she always asked the same question, which showed her care for her daughter. It was good. You must be tired after sitting for the whole morning. I'm not tired. It's good to see outside. Have some water. Okay, thank you. Song Ruiping sat by the window and chatted with her daughter for a while. Someone came to see you this morning? She looked at the tonic on the table. It was expensive. Yes, Zhenghe came over, Su Xiaoxue said. Him. Song Ruiping's eyes changed slightly. What's wrong, Mom? Nothing. What do you think of him? Song Ruiping asked. He looks good, Su Xiaoxue said. Why do you suddenly ask this? I'm just asking, Song Ruiping said with a smile. Mom, I don't want to get married, Su Xiaoxue whispered as she looked out of the window. At least I don't want to get married at this time. What are you thinking about? Song Ruiping gently held her daughter's hand. How could I be willing to let you get married? The mother and daughter talked for a while. Go to bed and rest. I'll make a phone call. Okay. After Song Ruiping went out, she called the two housekeepers to the living room. When I'm not here, don't let outsiders disturb Xiaoxue's rest, she said seriously. Yes, ma'am. Did Xiaoxue say anything other than seeing Zhenghe? Well, she asked where Mr. Guo works and whether he is busy. Oh, she also asked about Lianshan County. Lianshan County? Song Ruiping was stunned. Yes, what's wrong, ma'am? Nothing. Song Ruiping waved her hand. She was very clear that Dr. Wang was in Lianshan County. By the way, when will Dr. Wang finish his work? In the mountain village, on Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao was preparing the herbs to decoct the blood deblicking powder. Over the past few days, he had seen quite a number of patients. Many a little makes a mickle. He had accumulated enough exchange points to exchange for the herbs needed to decoct this medicine. Moreover, he had some of them on the mountain. After these herbs are ready, I can decoct the decoction. The decoction was useful to him. Whether it was Zhou Wui or Pan Jun's relative, they all needed the decoction. In the mountain village, the construction team was very fast. A car with a foreign license plate drove into the mountain village. Is it here? Yes, it's here. The car stopped outside the clinic in the south of the village. Wait a moment, I'll go and have a look. Okay. A middle-aged man in his 30s sitting in the front passenger's seat got out of the car and went to the clinic. Wang Yao was not inside. The door was locked. Not in? He did not rush back to the car. Instead, he went to the nearby residents' houses to ask. Wang Yao? Is he on Nanshan Hill? His house is in the village. You can go and ask. After asking where Wang Yao's house was, he went back to the car and told the driver. He's not here. He's on the mountain. I'll go to his house and ask his family to inform him. Please wait a moment. Okay. He went directly to Wang Yao's house and spoke very politely. Okay, wait a moment. I'll call Yao. Zhang Xiuying called Wang Yao, who was on the mountain, and asked him to go down the mountain to see a patient. Patient? At this time? Wang Yao looked up at the sky. The sun had already set. It was past 4 p.m. Ordinary people rarely came to see a doctor in the evening. He went to have a look. Since the patient had specially come to see him, he naturally had to receive him. After going down the mountain, he saw the car parked outside the clinic from a distance. An out-of-town license plate? Another middle-aged man in a suit was waiting outside. He looked down at his watch from time to time. After seeing Wang Yao approach, he also greeted him. "Hello, are you Dr. Wang?" "That's me." "Great, I've been waiting for you for a while," the man said. "Sorry, come in." Wang Yao opened the door and let him in. "You're not a patient, are you?" Wang Yao could judge the general condition of a person's body at a glance. "Oh, it's not me. Please wait a moment. I'll go out and ask him to come over." Okay. After a while, he brought a man in sunglasses into the clinic. "Hello, Dr. Wang." After seeing Wang Yao, he took off his sunglasses. He had a square face, thick eyebrows, and was middle-aged. "Hello." Wang Yao looked at the man's expression. Although he looked quite masculine, his eyes were not very bright. He also had bags under his eyes. It seemed that he did not have a good rest. "What's the matter?" "I tend to have nightmares when I sleep at night." "Nightmares?" Wang Yao treated him and found that there was an evil cold in his brain, but it was not particularly serious. "Your illness is not very serious." He did not prescribe medicine. He only treated him with massage. "Well, it's so comfortable," the man exclaimed. After the treatment, he only felt that his head was warm. He did not feel as dizzy as when he first came. He did feel much better. "Thank you, I feel much better now. Go back and rest more." "That's it?" The man was stunned. "What do you think? You don't need to prescribe medicine?" "Not for the time being," Wang Yao said. The man's illness was not serious. The treatment had removed the evil cold in his brain. He would be fine after going back to sleep. "Well, thank you." After paying the consultation fee, the man put on his sunglasses and left. This man is a little strange. Looking at the man's back, Wang Yao thought. "Can you rest assured now?" "Yes, I do feel much better. This doctor has some skills." The car drove out of the mountain village. The next day, the sun was rising in the east. Wang Yao was quietly decocting medicine on the hill. Blood deblicking powder. He was not unfamiliar with this medicine. He had decocted it many times. The firewood was burning. It was crackling. Wang Yao sat by the fire like an old monk in meditation. However, he was moving. He added the medicine one by one. After a while, the cottage on the hill was filled with the smell of medicine. "Are you okay?" "I have a terrible headache." "Why does it hurt again?" "Go to the mountain village and find the young doctor." "Okay, I'll arrange it right away." When the sun was high in the sky, Wang Yao finished decocting the medicine. He packed it up and went down the hill. While he was eating at home, there was a knock on the door. The person who came in was the middle-aged man who waited outside the clinic yesterday afternoon. Chapter 419. "Hello, Dr. Wang," Wang Yao said. "What's the matter?" Wang Yao asked. "The patient you saw yesterday has a relapse, and his condition is more serious," Wang Yao said. "What? That's impossible," Wang Yao said in surprise. He was very clear about the condition of the patient yesterday. It was not a very serious disease. He just had a headache. Because of his treatment, the root of the disease in his head had been removed. It was impossible for it to recur in such a short time. "Where is the patient?" Wang Yao asked. "Take him to the clinic," Wang Yao said. "Okay," Wang Yao said. Wang Yao said to the people in the room, and then got up to go to the clinic. The patient was still the same person, but his complexion was very different. It had only been a day, but his face had turned a little dark. He was so weak that he could not even walk properly. This was not a normal disease. He was poisoned. Wang Yao knew at a glance. "You didn't go to the hospital?" Wang Yao asked. "No, we came to your clinic as soon as we could," Wang Yao said. Wang Yao was speechless. "Can you tell me why you chose to come to my clinic as soon as you could?" Wang Yao was very curious about this matter. "Well, because a friend introduced me," Wang Yao said. "A friend introduced you?" Wang Yao did not believe such an explanation, unless it was a true friend who treated him with sincerity. "You are poisoned." "Poisoned? What kind of poison?" Wang Yao was shocked. "I'm not sure," Wang Yao said. "Can it be cured?" Wang Yao asked. "Antidote grass," Wang Yao said. "It could cure hundreds of poisons." The patient's condition was not particularly serious, so Wang Yao just prepared the grass and dissolved it with warm water. "Come on, drink it," Wang Yao said. "Well, okay," Wang Yao said. Wang Yao hesitated for a moment, then drank the water boiled with antidote grass. After a while, his body reacted. His body was twitching. "What's wrong with me?" "Don't panic." Wang Yao put his hand on the patient's wrist. There was no problem. The body's reaction did not last long. He returned to normal. The poison was dissolved in a very short time. The patient's complexion also improved. 10,000 drops of green water could cure the poison. "This is amazing," said the middle-aged man who looked like a secretary. "All right, the poison has been neutralized," Wang Yao said. "Oh, okay, thank you. What about the medical fee?" 5,000, how much?" That person was stunned. "What's wrong?" Wang Yao didn't repeat himself but asked instead. "Give it to him," the person who had recovered some strength said softly. As a patient, he could feel the miraculous effect of the bowl of medicine. Previously, he did not have the slightest bit of strength in his body. Instead, he felt a faint pain all over his body as if his body was shackled. However, after taking the medicine, these symptoms began to rapidly fade away in a very short period of time. "Yes." The middle-aged man who came with him immediately took out some money from his bag to pay the bill. "Dr. Wang's medical skills are indeed worthy of his reputation," the man exclaimed. "Now, can you tell me how you came here?" "I heard it from my friend." "So you came here without going to the hospital after you were poisoned?" "Actually, we didn't go to Lianshan County. We stayed there for a night. We don't know why we were poisoned. Then we came here." Shaoli didn't tell the truth just now. "I'm here to apologize. We actually went to the county hospital before, but they couldn't do anything, so we came here," the poisoned man said. "Oh, it's okay." Wang Yao smiled and waved his hand. "Can you determine what kind of poison I was poisoned with?" "It's hard to say," Wang Yao said. "Is it food poisoning?" "No." Wang Yao said that this was not the symptom of food poisoning, and it would not be so serious. "However, your poison hasn't been around for a long time, and it doesn't flare up very quickly, but the threat is very great. If you had come a day later, your internal organs might have suffered irreversible damage." "Okay, sorry to bother you." After that, the man got up and left. He got into the car. "Boss, is this poison? Where did it come from?" The poisoned middle-aged man was also very puzzled. After he came to see the doctor yesterday, he was delayed in Lianshan County because of something. He stayed for a night in the best hotel. "If it's not food poisoning, how did the poison get into my body?" he thought. He took out a cigarette from his pocket and lit it. The car was filled with a faint aroma. Poison? In the clinic, Wang Yao was also thinking about the poisoned patient. It's not food poisoning, but the poison seems to be something made with an ancient method. I hope he won't be poisoned again. It was obvious that someone wanted to kill him. Moreover, they had used poison to do so. Speaking of which, this should be considered murder. Moreover, that person seemed to be very rich. Rich? Has he recovered? "Yes, he's fine," Wang Yao said. "I won't come back for lunch after noon." "On the hill?" "Yes, on the hill." He wanted to use the morning to decoct a decoction on the hill. All the ingredients had been prepared. It was regather soup to consolidate the corporeity. He had decided to decoct the decoction the night before. He still had some guiyuan and shanjing. They were planted on the hill and could be used. The decoction was also going to be used on Pan Jun's relative. Of course, it was only a small amount. "Got it. There's still some spiced beef at home. Take it with you." Also, bring some food for San Xian and Xia. There's not much to eat on the hill. Oh, okay. Wang Yao went out with a big bag on his back. After leaving the village and going up the mountain, he quickened his pace. He looked left and right to make sure there was no one around. He walked a few feet in one step. It looked like he was teleporting from afar. After a short while, he went up Nanshan Hill and entered the battle array. The firewood was burning. The cottage was filled with a unique herbal fragrance. Outside, the dog was lying quietly in the kennel, looking up at the sky. No one knew what he was thinking. He had decocted the decoction the most. Although he hadn't decocted it for a while, he was still familiar with it. It's done. The decoction was decocted just after noon. After decocting the decoction, he cooked on the hill. 1 dish, 1 meat, and 1 rice. It was very simple. At the same time, he changed the food for the dog and the goshawk. Time to eat. San Xian de Xia. He put the food prepared for them in a big bowl. It was braised pork. Yes, braised pork, a mixture of pork and beef. The dog heard the shout and climbed out of the kennel first. The goshawk flapped its wings a few times and then fell from the tree. They liked to eat meat, all kinds of meat, roasted and boiled, but their favorite was braised pork. It was a very strange hobby. Eat slowly. Don't rush. Wang Yao also moved the table out and ate with them outside. By the way, where is Xiao He? Woof, woof. He went to the back of the hill. What is he doing? Catching mice? It was difficult for ordinary people to understand the conversation between a man and a dog. In the afternoon, Wang Yao's family bought a lot of coal. They used it to warm themselves in winter. Winter in the north was cold. In the mountain village, there was no collective heating. Most people installed earth heating. It was more comfortable and practical to use coal to boil water for heating. Is there no earth heating in Yao's room? The couple was still thinking about their son when they were unloading the coal. It seems that there is no heater installed. It's not too late to install it now. Let's buy more and prepare it for him. Well, okay. In this way, they bought twice the amount of coal compared to the previous year. Why did you buy so much coal? Wang Yao, who came down from the hill in the afternoon, saw the coal in the yard was much more than the previous year. It's for you. Me? Yes, your clinic doesn't have earth heating, right? When will you install it? I don't plan to install it, Wang Yao said. I feel uneasy. Yes, why do you need to install it? With his cultivation, he was already immune to both heat and cold. That little bit of cold was nothing to him. Even if there were patients, there was still an air conditioner in the room. Besides, the array he had set up had some special effect. That room wouldn't be too cold. What do you do in winter? Do you use the air conditioner? Well, if it's too cold, I use the air conditioner, Wang Yao said. What about on the hill? On the hill, there is no need. In the spirit-gathering battle array, it was like spring all year round. Did we buy too much? Not too much. I have nothing to do, so I burn it, Wang Yao said with a smile. In winter, he lit the stove at home, chatted, and watched TV. Well, it was a very enjoyable life. It was a rare rest after a busy year. Thousands of miles away in Jia County. Dr. Long, why do you do this? It's a kind gesture. In less than a month, Long Yunfei seemed to have aged 10 years. Now, he was completely unable to stand, and this situation seemed to be spreading. He found that his arms seemed to be affected as well, and he could no longer control them. This made him abnormally frightened. Then, he used all the connections he could use, and even spent a lot of money, before he confirmed the construction plan of this road. Don't worry, we will complete the relevant procedures in the shortest time possible. Okay, Long Yunfei said. Dad, why are you doing this? Long Tianyu didn't know why his father was so stubborn about helping to build that road. It was as if he was possessed. For myself and for you, Long Yunfei said in a hoarse voice. What? This was the first time Long Tianyu had heard his father explain this matter in such a way. It's a punishment for me, Long Yunfei said. Although the punishment is a little heavy, if my illness is cured, it will be a relief for you, right? Chapter 420. There was no filial son in front of a sick bed. This was an old saying, and it made sense. Taking care of patients required a lot of energy and patience. Long Tianyu remained silent after hearing his father's words. He knew what his father meant. In fact, he was already feeling somewhat annoyed in his heart. Sigh. He sighed. It was too late for regrets. Thousands of miles away, in the People's Hospital in Lianshan County. This was not scientific. Several doctors gathered together to discuss the condition of a patient. How could this be? This is terminal cancer. The test report in their hands belonged to Li Maoshuang's uncle. It was terminal cancer. Is our treatment so magical? These doctors couldn't believe that their medicine could have such an effect. After all, it wasn't the first time they treated a patient with cancer. The medicine and treatment plan were basically the same. Except for extending the patient's life and reducing the patient's pain, there was no better effect. However, the patient in front of them was an exception. It was obvious that he was dying. A while ago, they urged the patient to go home. But now, it was as if he suddenly had a momentary recovery of consciousness. However, this momentary recovery of consciousness lasted a little too long, right? Should we observe him for a while? Should we change the medicine? No, what if something goes wrong? This was a rare accident. It could be considered a miracle and also a glory. In the end, they decided to let the patient continue to be treated and observed in the hospital. Therefore, they went to the ward more frequently. They are so diligent. Li Maoshuang's uncle's family members naturally knew why the patient was lying in bed until now. It really had nothing to do with the doctors. Well, they must have felt that Dad has become better recently, so they came more frequently to find out the reason. Hey, keep your mouth shut. Don't tell anyone about Dr. Wang. Got it. Ginseng, wolfberry, gorgon, sealwort, glossy Ganoderma. Wang Yao was decocting the medicine. It was still the medicine to consolidate the corporeity. However, the two main ingredients, Shanjing and Guiyuan, were not in it. Instead, they were replaced with other medicines. The effect was definitely still there, but it would not be as magical as the regather soup. The brewing time for this medicine was slightly longer because all of the medicinal properties contained in the medicine needed to be steamed out and integrated into the water. When he was about to finish decocting the decoction, he took out the regather soup from the system's package and added a small amount into the soup. This was the finishing touch. He hoped to improve the efficacy of the decoction as a whole. The fire gradually went out. The medicine was ready. He just didn't know how effective it would be. He needed to conduct actual experiments on patients. This was just the beginning. If the effect was good, he would try to do the same for other potions. In the capital city thousands of miles away. Madam, are you looking for me? Chen Ying came to the Su family. Yes, Xiaoying, I want you to go out for a while. Madam, where do you want to go? Lianshan County. Let's visit Dr. Wang, Song Ruiping said. Why did you visit him? Chen Ying was a little surprised. In the past, the task of visiting Wang Yao was usually done by Chen Boyuan. Of course, I want to ask him when he has time to come to Beijing. Although Xiaoshue's illness has fundamentally improved, she still hasn't fully recovered. Also, you can ask him about your brother's illness, Song Ruiping said. Okay, Chen Ying said. Get ready and leave as soon as possible. Yes, madam. Chen Ying went back to prepare. In fact, she had wanted to visit Wang Yao for a long time. When Wang Yao was still in Beijing, he mentioned the mountain village and Nanshan Hill to her more than once. She was even a little impatient. Unknowingly, another day had passed. The night was getting darker. Wang Yao's mother was pacing back and forth in the room because his aunt was in the hospital. It was very likely that she would give birth that night. Didn't you choose tomorrow? Nowadays, many people would choose an auspicious day when giving birth to a child. It was considered auspicious because many people believed that a person's birth time would affect his or her fate for life. Wang Yao's uncle was no exception. In fact, he was very superstitious, especially in this regard. Therefore, he paid a fortune teller to find the best time for the child to be born. Sometimes man proposes, God disposes. Yao, do you want to go? Zhang Xiuying asked. What for? Wang Yao was stunned. He really didn't know much about giving birth. You go and see your aunt's condition. See if you can delay it until tomorrow. Mom, you also believe in this? Wang Yao laughed. Okay. Zhang Xiuying sighed. Nonsense. His aunt is giving birth. What is he going to do? Wang Fenghua asked. How about this? You call my uncle and ask if he needs to carry the bed and help. If he needs help, I'll go right away. You and Dad don't need to go, Wang Yao said. Okay, I'll call him later. He called to confirm that there was no problem for the time being. Then let us know if you have something to say. Okay, I know. After dinner, Wang Yao went out and was about to go up the hill. Just as he was walking to the clinic in the south of the village, he received a call from his mother. She said that his aunt was about to give birth and asked him to come back. Wang Yao immediately went home and drove to Lianshan County that night. Mom, I can do it alone. Why do you have to come with me? I'll go and have a look. What if I'm too busy? At night, there were not many cars on the road. Wang Yao drove faster because he received a call from his uncle on the way. He said that he was about to enter the delivery room when the water broke. In this case, the surgery had to be performed. It could not be delayed any longer. It was already past 8 p.m. when they arrived at the hospital in Lianshan County. In addition to them, Wang Yao's aunt, uncle, and his uncle's brother-in-law all came. How is it? It has been 20 minutes in the delivery room. The surgery is ongoing. His uncle looked a little nervous. His face was not very good. Waiting was long, especially such a wait. Time passed by in minutes and seconds. Finally, the doctor came out with the child. It was a girl. Wang Yao's mother held the child in her arms. Wang Yao also went forward to take a look. This was the first time he had seen a newborn so close. Well, it was not very good-looking. A newborn baby was not that good-looking, but it was full of vitality. This was a brand-new life. After a while, Wang Yao's aunt was pushed out of the delivery room. The anesthetic had not worn off. The family helped to push her into the ward and then got on the bed. Wang Yao's uncle might have used some connections to find a cozy ward. There were 2 beds for one patient so that the person taking care of her could also rest. This child is so good. Wang Yao's mother held the child and said. Perhaps because of the girl, Wang Yao felt that his uncle's mood was not too good. I'll tell Mom so that she won't worry about it, Wang Yao's aunt said. Well, yes. The child was born. She had to take care of the child and the mother, so she needed to stay. Wang Yao's aunt was weak, so Wang Yao's mother chose to stay. Wang Yao did not go back. He found a hotel in Lianshan County to stay for the night. He originally wanted to go to his sister's place, but it was a little too late, so he did not go. Zhang Xiuying was a little tired because she did not sleep much the whole night. Mom, go back and have a good rest. Okay. Oh, by the way, go to your grandma's house later and bring your grandma and grandpa to the hospital. Okay. Wang Yao drove his mother home and then drove to his grandma's house. The 2 elders had packed their things early. If Wang Yao had been a little later, they would have taken the bus to Lianshan County. Then, the 2 elders went to Lianshan County. While they were still on the way, they received a call from an unknown number. What? Yes, dead? Wang Yao was stunned. Okay. What's wrong? What dead? His grandma and grandpa were a little worried after hearing Wang Yao's call in the car. Nothing. Wang Yao smiled. After sending the two elders to the county hospital, he said a few words to his uncle and the others before leaving. Now, he had a more important thing to deal with. A patient who had been treated by him died. It was the patient who first had a headache and then was poisoned. He died in Hike People's Hospital. The police had been involved in the investigation. The middle-aged man and his entourage told the police in detail what had happened in the past 2 days when they were questioned. The key point was that he had gone to Wang Yao's clinic twice to see a doctor and had taken medicine. As the police, they naturally had to pay attention to such important news. They quickly found Wang Yao's phone and called directly to ask about the situation. They will probably come again. Sure enough, 2 police officers came to the mountain village from Hike in the morning. They came to Wang Yao's clinic and asked about the situation of the deceased. Have you seen the deceased before? No, I've only seen him twice in 2 days. On the first day, he was treated for a headache. On the second day, he was treated for poisoning. Poisoning? You think he was poisoned? The 2 police officers keenly grasped this point. Yes. What kind of poison? It's hard to say. When did Dr. Wang get his medical license? Around September, said Wang Yao. While speaking, Wang Yao took out his medical qualification certificate and the business license of the clinic. These 2 certificates proved the legitimacy of his clinic. Otherwise, it would be difficult to explain the matter clearly. Do you know the identity of the patient? Identity, I don't know. I only know his surname is Luo. His name is Luo Jiadong, one of the police officers said. Why? Is his identity special? Somewhat special. Chapter 421. After the introduction of the 2 police officers, Wang Yao learned that the middle-aged man surnamed Luo was a famous entrepreneur in the province. He was quite influential. His death even alarmed some people in the province, who ordered an investigation into the cause of death. Can I ask about the cause of death? The preliminary suspicion is that he was poisoned. Poisoned? Wang Yao was stunned. Then he killed him. In this way, he was a big suspect. After all, Mr. Luo had seen him before his death. It seemed that this was not a small problem. This was a dead man. Although Wang Yao had a clear conscience, no one could guarantee that there wouldn't be any problems in the process. Well, today's investigation will end here. I hope you won't go out for a few days. We may have other questions that need your cooperation. The 2 police officers were very polite. Okay, Wang Yao said. After sending the 2 police officers away, he was thinking about the matter. The first time Mr. Luo came to Wang Yao's clinic, he only had a headache, which was caused by an evil cold entering his brain. The second time he came, he was poisoned. It was very likely that it was man-made. Wang Yao had told him in a more subtle way. He did not expect that in just 2 or 3 days, Mr. Luo would die directly. It was very likely that he was poisoned to death. See a doctor? Yes, the first time he had a headache. The second time he had a stomachache. How was he treated? The first time he had a massage. The second time he was fed a bowl of medicine. At this time, Mr. Luo's secretary was also being investigated. Medicine? Yes. How was the treatment? The effect was very good. Not long after drinking the medicine, he said that his body did not hurt. He felt much better. The police officer who recorded the statement asked very detailed questions and recorded the details of the incident in detail. In Hike City Hospital, after receiving the news, Mr. Luo's family rushed over as soon as possible. He was the head of a large consortium. He controlled nearly 10 billion yuan of asset. After his death, the distribution of such a large amount of assets was a problem. What's the cause of death? It's still under investigation. We need to dissect his body and do an autopsy. An autopsy? I don't agree. His family was clearly against the idea of conducting an autopsy on his body. In this way, it would be difficult to determine the cause of his death. In the afternoon, Wang Yao went to Lianshan County again. His mother said that she was worried and insisted on going to see him again. What's there to worry about? Wang Yao was worried that his mother was tired. Your grandma and grandpa are both old, especially your grandma's waist is weak, and she tends to overthink things. Is there anything your aunt can do to help? Wang Yao didn't say anything else. His mother was a warm-hearted person, especially towards her own family. After arriving at the hospital, she stayed there for the whole afternoon. I'll stay at your sister's place tonight. I won't be going back. You can go back by yourself. All right, then I'll go back first. Wang Yao drove back to the village. When is your son coming back? I don't know. Can't you give him a call? Wait for a while. He should be back soon. Call him right away. Your son killed someone. Do you know that? You're talking nonsense. As soon as Wang Yao got out of the car and stood at the entrance of the alley, he heard a noise from his home. Who is it? He quickened his pace and entered the yard. He saw several strangers surrounding his father. His father was very angry. He knew that his father was a person who didn't like to talk. What are you doing? Wang Yao's face was as gloomy as water. He was angry. The consequences were very serious. Who are you? He's the one who treated President Luo. It's you? The person who spoke was the middle-aged man who came to see the doctor with President Luo a few days ago. You're the one who killed my father? Go away. Wang Yao said faintly. King, say it again. The man's neck stiffened. How dare a country bumpkin be so stupid? Go away. Wang Yao said lightly. The man covered his ears and fell to the ground in pain. What's going on? The people next to him were stunned. They saw that the man covered his ears and looked very painful. Xiao Wei, what's wrong with you? The young man squatting on the ground only felt that his ears were buzzing. He had a splitting headache. The word "go away" fell into his ears like thunder. He squatted on the ground for a full 10 minutes before he came to his senses. His face was pale. When he got up, he found another terrible fact. He couldn't hear any sound in his ears. He could only see his sister's lips moving, but he couldn't hear any voice. He was deaf. What did you do to me? He couldn't hear, but he could still speak normally, so he roared directly. Go away. Wang Yao said one word casually. So he squatted on the ground again with his head in his hands. He couldn't hear. Why did his head still hurt? Xiao Wei. Sister, let's go. At this time, he looked at Wang Yao with eyes full of fear. What kind of strange method did this young man use to have such a terrible effect? So they left in a panic. Of course, they didn't forget to leave classic sentences of intimidation before they left. You wait for me. Dad, are you okay? Wang Yao went up and asked. I'm fine. They said you killed someone. What's going on? Wang Fenghua lit a cigarette. He knew what kind of person his son was. He would never kill people. His father died. Before he died, he came to see me. Does it have anything to do with you? Of course not. His father died of poisoning. He was a very rich man, Wang Yao said. Oh, it's good that you didn't do it, Wang Fenghua said. Don't be angry. I'll go back and make you a cup of tea, Wang Yao said. He went into the house and made a cup of tea for his father. He also told him that his mother might be in the city for 2 days. If she wants to be there, then so be it. How's your aunt? She's fine. That's good. In Hike People's Hospital. Doctor, can you take a look at him? What's going on? His eardrum is broken. Broken eardrum? Can it be repaired? It's difficult. Will he become deaf? Yes, his hearing will definitely be damaged, but it can be repaired with external equipment. Luo Xiuxiu didn't expect things to turn out like this. She and her brother went to the doctor to ask about the cause of her father's death, but he was not there. So, under the guidance of her father's personal secretary, they went to his home. Her brother had a bad temper and spoke very impulsively, but he was magically deaf. "Brother, what did he do to you?" She wrote down her question and showed it to her brother. Her brother's answer surprised her even more. One word was enough to make someone deaf. It didn't sound reliable. The key was that she didn't hear the word at all. The young man's voice was not very loud when he spoke. It was impossible to deafen people. This was not the end. The results of the following examination were shocking. Her brother had a moderate concussion. He needed to rest in bed. It was best to stay in the hospital for observation for a period of time. Who can tell me what's going on with this concussion? So, the cause of their father's death was not clear. Her brother was deaf and hospitalized. "Mom? What's going on?" Their mother rushed over after hearing the news. Well, she told her mother the whole story. Nonsense. The middle-aged woman's facial expression changed after she heard what he said. "What's his name?" "Wang Yao." "Wang Yao." The woman wrote the name down. "Go and see your brother first. Don't cause any more trouble here." Okay. After yelling at people, Wang Yao was also thinking about how to reduce the impact of these people on his parents. He tried not to affect their daily life as much as possible, whether it was people who came to see him for treatment or to cause trouble. So, he decided to set a rule. People who came to see the doctor were not allowed to go to his home. Otherwise, he would not treat them. He straightened out the sentence, wrote it down, and pasted it on the wall of the clinic. Chapter 422. That's right. That's the rule. This matter wouldn't end like this. That family was definitely very powerful. After all, the death of a person could reach the province directly. It was enough to show their influence. So, he made a few phone calls. It was better to be prepared. Luo Donglai? Tian Yuantu called out the man's name on the other side of the phone. "I think that's his name. He's a very powerful person. He's a rich man in G. Is he dead?" "Yes, and it has something to do with me." "What does it have to do with you?" "He came here to see a doctor before he died," Wang Yao said. "But he died one day later." There was silence on the other side of the phone for a while. "I suggest you call Sun Jingrong or ask someone in Jing to help you in case this matter is pushed to you. In fact, his family has already found me and tried to frame me." "What happened?" "Well, I guess his son is deaf," Wang Yao said calmly. Crack. There was a sound of something breaking on the other side of the phone. "You are so awesome," Tian Yuantu couldn't help but praise. His family has always been on bad terms. His 4 children must have conflicts because of his family property. Could his death have something to do with his family? I don't know. You should be prepared. Okay. Wang Yao was about to call Sun Jingrong when Sun Jingrong called him. "I'm sorry, Dr. Wang." Sun Jingrong apologized as soon as he answered the phone. "What's the matter?" Wang Yao was surprised. "I introduced Luo Donglai to you. I didn't expect such a thing to happen." "What's the matter?" "What a coincidence." Sun Jingrong explained the reason. He and Luo Donglai were good friends. He introduced Luo Donglai to him. He didn't expect such a thing to happen. He had just heard the news. "That's why I called you," Wang Yao said. He didn't beat around the bush. "The police? They went there?" Sun Jingrong asked. "Yes." "Well, it must be because of the family property." "What does fighting over the family property have to do with me?" His 4 children were not born of the same wife. And Wang Yao was stunned. "What does this have to do with me?" "Framing? Anyway, it's not something that can't be explained in one sentence. This matter started because of me. I'll settle it. You don't have to worry." "That's good." It seemed that this matter was resolved just like that. However, a problem suddenly arose. Wang Yao was taken to the police station. Hike City Police Station. When he was taken away, his father was very anxious. The people in his village were pointing fingers at him. There must be rumors in the village again. At this moment, Wang Yao was excited. He even wanted to get rid of the two policemen, directly send them flying and overturn the police car. When he had this thought, the two policemen beside him were frightened. They felt as if a huge storm was coming, as if a landslide was in front of them. Who exactly was this young man? I want to make a phone call, Wang Yao said calmly. Okay. Now, this person was just a suspect, and the other party was cooperative. There was no need to make things too difficult. Wang Yao made a phone call. What? I'll deal with it right away. Sun Jingrong, who received the phone call, was very angry. You really don't know what's good for you. In the business world, today's friend could be tomorrow's enemy. If Luo Donglai was still alive, Sun Jingrong would still give him some face. Now that he was dead, his family still didn't know when to back down. The police car drove away. Wang Fenghua remembered that he had been smoking at home. He thought for a long time but couldn't think of a way. So, he called Wang Mingbao in the village. He was Wang Yao's best friend. What? The police took him away? Don't worry, uncle. I'll think of a way right away. After hanging up the phone, Wang Mingbao kicked the chair to the side with a bang. Damn, who is it? He wants to die. He inquired about what had happened in the shortest time. Is Luo's group very powerful? Very powerful. It's one of the top private enterprises in Qi province. Damn it. Wang Mingbao cursed on the phone. What's going on? Wang Yao was arrested because of them, Wang Yao said. Luo Donglai's death? Yes. On the other side of the phone, Tian Yuantu was silent for a long time. I'll think of a way. He called his old classmate. This was Hike. His old classmate was the head of Hike. He wouldn't do this unless he had no other choice. Even though they were classmates, he would rather beg Sun Jingrong than get rid of his old classmate. Friendship was like paper. The more you used it, the thinner it became. What? He was arrested? Why? It's about Luo Donglai. What does it have to do with him? He went to see Wang Yao before he died. I see. Yang Haichuan then made a phone call. His mother's illness was cured by Wang Yao. He certainly remembered this kindness. Hello, Secretary Yang. Yes, I am. Don't worry. I won't wrongly accuse a good person. Yes, yes. The person in charge of the relevant department hung up the phone. He immediately took out his phone without saying anything. How's Luo Donglai's case going? The suspect is arrested. Get ready to interrogate. Who is it? You must interrogate clearly. You need evidence. Understand? No, he was still worried. He was afraid that his subordinates would misunderstand the meaning of his words. If that happened, there would be a big mess. His leader had just called to inform him. He couldn't let a bad person go, but he couldn't wrongly accuse a good person either. The order of the sentence was quite important. If he said it the other way around, he would express another meaning. It was completely opposite. He wanted to protect someone. Who was Wang Yao? His boss had asked him to do it. He hurriedly rushed to the police station below. At this time, Wang Yao was being interrogated. Director. Okay. Are you all busy? Yes. How's Luo Donglai's case? His family has agreed to do an autopsy. It's confirmed that he died of poisoning, but the poison hasn't been seen. It has been sent to the provincial capital. I hope the results can be analyzed as soon as possible. Now we have two main suspects. One is his personal secretary, and the other is the doctor who had treated him. What's the motive? Well, not yet. His secretary has been with him for nearly 10 years. He was very trusted and paid well. Logically speaking, there was no reason to harm him, unless he was bribed. The doctor was a stranger. By the way, I heard that Sun Jingrong from Dao introduced him to the doctor. Sun Jingrong. Yes. I see. Oh, by the way, pay attention to your attitude. There is no motive or evidence. Pay attention to your attitude. Yes, okay. I understand. It wasn't until he walked out of the police station for a while that the police officer realized why the director had suddenly come. The director had come for the doctor. To be precise, he had come to protect him. Attitude is very important in this case. In this unit, no one was a fool. It was not the first time that Wang Yao had been to the police station. It was just that the place he came to this time was relatively bigger. Strange. Why is his attitude so much better? He could feel that the director's attitude toward him had suddenly become much better. Yes, it's me. Don't worry, Mayor Lin. I will definitely take care of this matter in person. Yes. Before the director had left the police station, he received another call. It was the same person asking about the doctor named Wang Yao. What's going on today? Two big bosses are calling to protect the same person. He didn't dare to delay any longer. He turned around and went back into the police station. There was no need to interrogate him for the time being. He was released. Thank you for your cooperation. It's my pleasure. I may need to bother you again in the future. No problem. Wang Yao had been calm the whole time. He didn't think that this matter was over. Even if the other party was done for, he wouldn't let it go so easily. When he returned home, he saw his anxious parent. How's it going, Yao? As soon as they saw Wang Yao come back, his parents hurried forward to ask him about this and that. They were still worried. What's going on? It's not a big deal. One of my patients had some problems. They asked me to go over and investigate. That's good. That's good. In less than a day, the rumors in the mountain village had already spread. They said that Wang Yao was practicing medicine illegally. They said that there was a problem with his treatment, that he had killed someone, and that he had used illegal drugs. As a result, Wang Yao came back safe and sound on the same day. Hey, wasn't he arrested? Why did he come back so soon? Yeah. They were surprised, confused, and unwilling to accept it. He didn't know what they were thinking. Wang Yao received one call after another. They were all from his friends. They were all asking about his situation. He replied to them one by one. What? Let him go? Why? What do you want to do? Why did you not let him go? There's no evidence. He didn't admit it. Did that B*TCH and Sun Jingrong discuss it and deliberately kill Donglai? Ms. Gu, you have to pay attention to the evidence. Evidence? Humph. It was getting late at night. Wang Yao stayed on the hill and looked at the sky. He thought a lot and didn't go to sleep until it was very late. The next morning, he went down the hill early in the morning. He told his family and went straight out. He found Tian Yuantu. Hey, what do you want to do? Find out who wants to frame me. Make sure. Okay, I'll do it as soon as possible. Tian Yuantu immediately began to use his connections to investigate. There were 4 children in the Luo family. He needed to know which one or more of them it was. You called the deaf brother and sister. Through whom? A powerful director. Thank you. They have gone to the provincial capital. I see. Do you want to take revenge on them? Tian Yuantu hesitated for a moment and asked. Yes, Wang Yao said directly. They made his family worry because of his own preferences. Chapter 423. In this world, people had to admit that the status of people was not equal. Some people were high and mighty. They always thought they were noble and superior to others. They could order those who were inferior to them around. They did have extraordinary power and could affect the lives of a considerable number of people. They were used to doing whatever they wanted. For example, what Wang Yao had experienced. If it had been someone else, they would have been made a scapegoat. Their life might have been over. Sometimes it was really easy to destroy a person. Wang Yao was extremely disgusted with such people. City? He narrowed his eyes. It was just a matter of time. Snow, the first snow after winter this year, started to fall in the afternoon. The temperature was actually not that low. The snowflakes turned into water when they fell to the ground. Snow, San Xian, it's snow. Wang Yao stood on the top of the mountain and looked at the snowflakes falling from the sky in twos and threes. The dog stood on the ground and looked down. It was obviously a dog, but it was like a lion. It's so quiet. Wang Yao could even hear the sound of the falling snow. There shouldn't be any patience in such a weather. Wang Yao decided not to go down the mountain. He would stay on the mountain, quietly reading a book and looking at the snow. The snow was still falling. It felt very slow, as if it was a movie scene that could be played in slow motion. The mountain village was also very quiet. Moo, the sound made by a yellow ox. It was snorting and eating grass. A taxi drove into the mountain village. Is this the place? Thank you. A valiant woman got out of the car with some things in her hands. What a quiet mountain village. According to the information given by Chen Buiyuan, Chen Ying found Wang Yao's home. It was an ordinary house with a sky-blue door. After knocking on the door, there was a yard inside. There were some things piled up in the yard. There were 4 big tile-roofed houses. They were a little old. Hello, who are you looking for? Hello, Auntie. Is Mr. Wang Yao here? Mr. Wang? Zhang Xiuying was stunned. It was the first time that someone called her son that. Moreover, the girl looked so beautiful. She was almost as beautiful as Tong Wei. Yes. Ah, Yao, this is his home. I'm his mother, the woman said. Hello, Auntie. My name is Chen Ying. I'm from Beijing. I want to meet him, Chen Ying said. This is a gift for you and Uncle. Why did you bring a gift? He's on the hill. I'll call him now, said Zhang Xiuying. Well, Auntie, you don't have to call. I'll go up the mountain to find him. Is that okay? What's wrong with that? Zhang Xiuying smiled. Thank you very much. After asking for directions to Nanshan Hill, Chen Ying went up Nanshan Hill alone. The snow was still falling, but it was very slow, as if it was about to stop. Nanshan Hill was actually very easy to find. Just follow the rugged mountain road, go all the way south, go around a mountain, and then another mountain. The mountain path was rugged and there was no one. What is that? Chen Ying, who was walking, suddenly stopped. How could this be? Amid the bleakness, Nanshan Hill was verdant. Everything was yellow and withered. It was winter, and they were in the north. The mountain was obviously abnormal. Wang Yao was still on Nanshan Hill. Someone went up the mountain? He could see the figure of someone going up the mountain from afar. Who could it be at this time of the year in such weather? Chen Ying went up the mountain along the winding path. Then she saw the magic array, which was in front of her. The trees were moving, and the overlapping shadows made her dizzy. What's going on? Magic array. She thought of something that was not very possible. That's a legendary thing. How could it appear here? She wanted to go in, but she did not know how. Dr. Wang, I'm Chen Ying, she had to shout. Chen Ying? Why is she here? San Xian, bring her in, said Wang Yao. Chen Ying knew that Wang Yao should have heard her, so she was not in a hurry. Instead, she waited outside. After a while, a dog the size of a calf came out. Its eyes were very intelligent. Woof, woof. Chen Ying saw the dog barking at her, then turned around and left. What's the meaning of this? She immediately understood that the dog wanted her to follow. She followed the dog. The trees in front of her swayed less. Her head was not as dizzy as before. It's amazing! Why are you here? His words made Chen Ying, who was still in shock, come back to her senses. Only then did she see the forest clearly. A herbal field, a cottage, and a person. That was all. It seemed very simple, but it was absolutely extraordinary. It was also lush here. All the herbs were full of vitality. She felt very comfortable here. In fact, she had felt this feeling when she went up the mountain. The closer she got to Nanshan Hill, the stronger this feeling was. When she went up the mountain, outside the magic array, she felt that the air was particularly clear and warm. The north wind was whistling outside, but here it was as warm as spring. This was completely against the characteristics of the climate at this time. Blessed enclave. In an instant she thought of this word. "Hello, sir." Chen Ying hurriedly greeted Wang Yao. "Come in and have a seat." Wang Yao invited Chen Ying into the cottage. "Have some tea." "Thank you." Chen Ying looked at Wang Yao's cottage. There were only 2 rooms, a bed, a wooden table and chairs, and a few books. It was very simple. No, it should be called simple. It reminded her of the epigraph of My Shack. The tea was very fragrant. "Mrs. Song asked me to ask you when you are free to go to Jing. Miss Su's illness has improved a lot, right?" "Yes, a lot," Chen Ying said. "How about your brother?" "At first, it was better, but now there is a trend of deterioration." "Well, don't worry. I have been reading medical books during this time and have some new ideas. As for Jing, I will go and treat the illness of both of you, but it will have to wait for 2 days," Wang Yao said. He did have plans to go to the capital, but because of a few unexpected events, this plan had to be delayed. "Sir, this herbal field is amazing!" Chen Ying exclaimed. "Ha!" Wang Yao just smiled. It was not obvious in normal times, but in winter it was very different. It was as conspicuous as an oasis in the desert. The two chatted for a while. Soon it was noon. "Let's go. I'll treat you to lunch," Wang Yao said with a smile. "Is that a good idea?" "What's wrong with it? You are a guest. It's my treat. Let's go." It was the same small restaurant in the village. The dishes were still the same. The main dishes were the wild game on the mountain. These dishes could also be eaten in Jing, but they might not be as authentic as the ones here. The wild mushrooms were picked in the summer and dried in the sun. There were wild pheasants, some wild vegetables, and nut. "Well, it's delicious." Chen Ying ate with relish. The taste was indeed different from that in Jing. "How long are you going to stay here?" "Not long. I have to go back soon," Chen Ying said. She came this time to ask, listen to Wang Yao's opinion, and get to know him. Then she would go back. It was that simple. "How about I accompany you to walk around in the afternoon?" "Okay." "That's settled then," Wang Yao said with a smile. The terrain of Lianshan County was mainly hills. Only the southeast was relatively flat. The scenery of a few hills was quite good. During the holidays, people from Dao and Ji would come to play. After lunch, Wang Yao told his family and drove Chen Ying directly to Jilian Mountain. Lianshan County was named after this mountain. Although the mountain was not high, the scenery was beautiful. There were no flowers or plants in winter. It was relaxing and one could see the strange stones. Because it was winter, there were very few people on the mountain. Chen Ying saw a few occasionally. Although Chen Ying had a lot of free time on weekdays, she rarely went out of Jing. At this time, she was in a good mood to see the few hills. The two of them walked around and chatted for the whole afternoon. In fact, Chen Ying had a lot of questions in her heart, especially about the mountains, but she didn't ask. In the evening, Wang Yao drove her to Lianshan County and stayed in the best hotel. They had a hot pot meal. It was hot and warm. After that, Wang Yao drove back to the mountain village by himself. He was a miraculous person who possessed world-shaking abilities, but was relatively easy to get along with. This was the evaluation of Wang Yao after getting along with him for a long time. If you really got along with him, he would treat you with sincerity. Nothing happened that night. The next day, Chen Ying went to the mountain village again. She happened to see the building materials being prepared for the construction of 2 houses and the license plate number of the car from Dao. From Dao. In the clinic, Wang Yao was treating Sun Yunxing's illness, the medicine and Neishi. The treatment complemented each other. After several treatments, Wang Yao found the effect of the treatment was very obvious and effective. However, the foundation had been destroyed. It was full of holes and cracks everywhere. I can try regather soup, Wang Yao thought. While he was still treating Sun Yunxing, there was a knock on the door outside. Come in. The voice was not loud, but it was very clear outside the door. With a creak, Chen Ying pushed the door from outside and came in. What an exquisite small courtyard. What an exquisite building. In the clinic, there were also fallen leaves and withered leaves, but most of them were green. There was an obvious temperature difference between the small courtyard and the outside. It was also separated by a wall. It was two different worlds. It was amazing. Sir! Wait a moment. Wang Yao's voice came from the room. Chen Ying didn't go into the room. She walked around in the small courtyard and looked around. There were trees, bamboo, grass, and grapes. Grapes in the winter, and they were still bearing fruit. This was not scientific. After the treatment, Wang Yao said to Sun Jingrong and Sun Yunxing, "Well, this treatment is over. Next time, I'll try to change the prescription." "Okay, thank you." The father and son came out of the room and happened to meet Chen Ying in the courtyard. Sun Jingrong sighed softly. "Chen Ying? Uncle Rong?" Chapter 424. Do you know each other? Sort of, Sun Jingrong said. He did not expect to see Chen Ying here. Similarly, Chen Ying did not expect to see him here. Yunxing, this is Chen Ying. Hello. Sun Yunxing hurriedly greeted Chen Ying. Hello. Because they knew each other, they stayed in Wang Yao's clinic for a while. They sat together and chatted for a while. Yunxing's illness is much better. Chen Ying knew Sun Yunxing's illness because Sun Yunxing had gone to Jing to see the master Chinese medicine practitioners, to treat him. At that time, his illness was not serious enough to the point of collapse. This is all thanks to Dr. Wang's superb medical skills, Sun Jingrong said. Yes, Chen Ying said. Why are you here this time? Oh, I was asked by Mrs. Song to invite Dr. Wang to Jing, Chen Ying said. I see. Sun Jingrong only knew that Wang Yao had treated the old man of the Guo family, who had passed away. He did not expect that he had also treated the princess of the Su family. He was also a distinguished guest of the rich and noble family. Since you all know each other, I'll treat you at noon. Let's have lunch together. Wang Yao said. Sure. Sun Jingrong did not ask much. He directly transferred the money to the bank. He did not care about the money. Compared to the money, he valued Wang Yao more. Not only was his medical skills excellent, but he also knew so many people behind him. They went to the small restaurant in the village next door. Mountain delicacies and river delicacies. They were not very expensive, but they had a unique taste. After they parted, Chen Ying asked Wang Yao some questions, mainly about her brother's illness. Over the years, because of her brother's illness, Chen Ying had consulted many doctors, including some famous ones. In addition, she had practiced martial arts since she was a child. She also learned a little about Chinese medicine. She was actually half a doctor. Of course, it was mainly about the theory. She still hoped to learn more. When Wang Yao was not in Jing, she could take care of her brother and observe him more. It would play a positive role in the future treatment. Thank you. You're welcome. Wang Yao sent her back to the hotel in Lianshan County, and then went home by himself. Back at the hotel, Chen Ying summarized and recorded some of the things that Wang Yao mentioned in time, and then called Song Ruiping, who was far away in Beijing. Hello, madam, it's me. Did you see Dr. Wang? I saw him. He's been quite busy recently, so his plan to go to Beijing was delayed. He said that he would go to Beijing after a while. He didn't say the exact time, but he said that he would go. Yes. Ask him if there's anything he needs us to prepare in advance, or if he needs our help. If there's anything, contact Boyuan in time. Yes, ma'am. In Wang Yao's house in the mountain village. Yao, what is Chun Ying doing in Jing City? Wang Yao's mother asked Wang Yao about Chun Ying during dinner. Well, her occupation? She's a housekeeper, Wang Yao said after thinking for a while. In fact, he wasn't particularly clear about what Chun Ying was doing in Beijing for the Su family. He always felt that her work was somewhat similar to Chen Buiyuan's work, but the division of labor was different. Housekeeper? Is she from a big family? Yes, it's quite big, Wang Yao said. He didn't know much about the officialdom, but he knew that the Su family was one of the big families in Beijing. Well, the girl is quite good. What? Wang Yao was stunned. He didn't know what his mother meant. Why did she suddenly mention this? Why did she look for you? Oh, she asked me to go to Beijing to see a doctor. The patient you mentioned last time, the girl who couldn't move in bed? Yes, she's much better now. She can get out of bed. Although she can't walk, she can go out in a wheelchair, Wang Yao said. In the past, Su Xiaoshue's skin ulcerated all over her body. She could only stay in a relatively closed room to avoid bacterial infection as much as possible. At that time, Wang Yao could clearly remember that there were gauze curtains around her bed. In addition, there was a special incense burning in her room that had the magical effect of sterilization and insect repellent. She didn't just come for the girl. She also came for her brother. Her brother is also sick. Yes. What kind of illness? It's not very good here. It's a mental illness. Wang Yao pointed to his head. Is it serious? Yes, it's quite serious. It's not easy to treat. It was classified as a hard-to-treat disease. Naturally, it was not easy to treat. It's not easy for the girl. Yes, her brother is her only relative, Wang Yao said. He also knew that Chun Ying was under a lot of pressure. Really? Then you have to help her. I'll try my best. Also, don't try to take advantage of her, Zhang Xiuying said seriously. What? Wang Yao almost spat out a mouthful of water. I'm talking to you about something serious. Don't think about things that you shouldn't think about just because the girl is beautiful and needs your help. No, I definitely won't, Wang Yao said. Don't you know what kind of person your son is? Your mother means well. She's just giving you a reminder. Wang Fenghua, who had been quietly smoking and did not interrupt, said. You'll gradually meet more people and things outside. You'll encounter more temptations. You have to control yourself. This was a very serious and solemn advice from a father. I will definitely follow my heart, Wang Yao said. Not to mention practicing medicine to help the world, at the very least, I should treat patients and uphold medical ethics. In the evening, Wang Yao received a call from Li Maoshuang, who asked if he would go to the hospital the next day. Yes. That's good. My brother and sister want to treat you to lunch tomorrow at noon to express their gratitude, Li Maoshuang said on the other end of the phone. No, it's really not necessary, Wang Yao declined. Are you going to the hospital tomorrow? His mother asked. Yes, I'm going to see a patient. That's good. I'll go and see your aunt. She should be discharged from the hospital soon, Wang Yao's mother said. Okay. At night, the wind was a little cold. Is it cold on the hill? It's fine. Your son's body is strong now. He's immune to the cold and heat, Wang Yao said with a smile. Do you want to take the quilt with you? No, it's really not necessary, Wang Yao said with a smile. Not to mention that it was as warm as spring on Nanshan Hill, even in the cold winter, with his current level of cultivation, he was not afraid. Be careful. Okay. Wang Yao went up the hill alone. There was no moon or stars in the sky that night. On the hill, the dim yellow light was as small as a bean. Wang Yao was flipping through a medical book, the treatise on miscellaneous diseases that came from the system. One person has ulcers all over his body. They are the size of a bean. They break when you touch them, and they stink when you smell them. One person is sallow and emaciated, but likes to eat rotten food. Feed him with deworming soup. 3 times 100 worms will be expelled. The prescription is dark plum, tangerine peel, betel nut, rhubarb, pinellia, ganoderma, and citrus aurantium. For severe abdominal pain, add rhubarb. For hemorrhoids, add rhubarb. For diarrhea, add rhubarb. For diarrhea, add rhubarb and skullcap. For abdominal distension and poor diet, add sansien. There were specific medical cases of some strange diseases, the specific symptoms of the patients, the medicine used, the composition of the prescription, and the effect after the medicine was taken. Wang Yao read the medical book very carefully because many of the diseases mentioned in it were very rare. There was even a disease similar to cancer that was cured in the end. This made him very curious. However, in addition to the medicine, the patient also used acupuncture. His treatment plan was also very unique. He used medicinal baths and poisonous herbs. Yes, poisonous herbs. He fought poison with poison. He succeeded, but the danger was not recorded in the text. Moreover, Wang Yao had not seen the poisonous herbs in the catalogue of magic herbs or in existing medical book. It was getting late. Wang Yao read the medical book until after 11 o'clock. Woof! There was a dog barking outside the house. Wang Yao heard the sound and looked at the time. It's time to sleep. This was San Xian's reminder. Thank you. Good night, San Xian, said Wang Yao softly. The dog raised its head and lay down in the warm kennel. A man, a dog, and an eagle fell asleep. He did not know if they would meet in the dream. The next day, the temperature seemed to rise a little. It was not so cold in the morning. Wang Yao went down the hill and had breakfast with his mother. He went to the People's Hospital in Lianshan County. Chapter 425. Let's go to the supermarket first and buy something, Zhang Xiuying said. Okay. Wang Yao drove to the supermarket first. You know about this. What is suitable for your aunt to eat now? Now, she is still in the hospital, and she just had a cesarean section a few days ago. She should mainly eat some liquid food that is easy to digest and gradually eat some meat. I don't think you need to buy anything for her now. Just go and have a look. What about the donkey hide gelatin? Zhang Xiuying pointed to the beautifully packaged donkey hide gelatin on the shelf. This will have to wait. She can eat some during the confinement period, Wang Yao said. Okay, then I won't buy it. When the mother and daughter entered the hospital, they saw her uncle was frowning. What's wrong? I saw the little girl go for a hearing screening. She didn't pass, her uncle said. She didn't pass? Hearing this, Zhang Xiuying also frowned. After hearing this, Wang Yao went to the side of the baby blue and looked at the little one lying inside. At this time, she looked much better than when she was just born. The little one was sleeping soundly. At this time, babies spent their time sleeping. As people grew older, they would have less and less time to sleep in their lifetime. Wang Yao looked carefully. In fact, in many ways, babies and adults were different because some of the organs and functions of their bodies were not fully developed at this time. They needed a certain amount of time to grow. Some things could not be determined now. There should be no problem. After looking again, he gently covered the baby with the baby blanket. What? His uncle was stunned. I said there should be no problem. Isn't there a re-screening in a month? Let's see then. Well, that's the only way. Yao, take a look at your aunt again, Zhang Xiuying said. Okay. Wang Yao carefully checked his aunt again. Recovery is good, but there is still blood in the uterus. Also, is there a lot? A little. It has been squeezed by external forces several times, Wang Yao's aunt said. We have to talk to the doctor about this. The blood inside will affect the contraction and recovery of the uterus. It may become a blood clot in the future, Wang Yao said. Oh, okay. As a junior, He stayed inside for a while and then left. He had to go to another building to see Li Maoshuang's uncle. Hey, is that person your nephew? After Wang Yao left, the patient in the adjacent ward asked his uncle. He had overheard their conversation when he passed by the ward just now. Yes. He knows how to treat illnesses? Ah, yes, he is also a doctor, Wang Yao's uncle said. Working in this hospital? No, I opened my own clinic. Oh, my child didn't pass the hearing test for the first time. Can you let him take a look? I'll ask around for you. Oh, okay, thank you. After entering the outpatient building, Wang Yao soon arrived at Li Maoshuang's uncle's ward. Dr. Wang, you are here. Li Maoshuang's cousin saw Wang Yao and immediately went forward to greet him. Hey, how is the old man? He has been good these 2 days. Huh? Wang Yao found that there was one more patient in the ward. Although there were 3 beds in the ward, there was only one patient. Now there was one more. The person lying in the bed was an old man in his 70s. He was as thin as firewood. His face was sallow, and his eyes were staring blankly at the ceiling. His children were sitting in the chair next to him. Their faces were sad. Hearing Wang Yao's arrival, they looked at Wang Yao and then continued to look at the old man lying in the bed. Please have a seat. As soon as he arrived, the people accompanying the bed gave up their seats for him. No, I'll check on the old man's condition, Wang Yao said softly. He carefully examined the old man. The old man's current condition could be described in 4 words, which was, stable and getting better. The decoction and the prescription he provided had a better effect than expected. It effectively prevented the expansion of the tumor and killed a considerable part of it. The ordinary version of regather soup also played a role in strengthening the body's vitality. It allowed the originally fragile and damaged body tissues to be properly repaired and maintained the function of the body. Well, it's not bad, Wang Yao said softly. Continue to take the decoction. Okay. Wang Yao left a portion of the decoction he had made. Thank you. Li Maoshuang's cousin took the decoction with both hands. After his experience these days, he knew how precious the decoction was. The ward was not big and was quite quiet. Therefore, the conversation between Wang Yao and Li Maoshuang's cousin was heard by the family members accompanying the bed. Doctor, how is the decoction? They looked at the young man who seemed to be examining the old man after coming in. He was also a doctor in the hospital. Why hadn't he seen him before? That's all. Before leaving, Wang Yao tried to inject Neishi into the old man's body, hoping it would have some effect. Okay, thank you. They walked Wang Yao to the door. Dr. Wang. Li Maoshuang's cousin stopped Wang Yao. What's the matter? Are you free at noon? No, thanks. As soon as he heard this, Wang Yao knew what he wanted to do. I just want to have a meal to express my gratitude to you. It's really not necessary. Maoshuang and I are friends. How can that be? Buzz. The phone in his pocket rang again. It had been vibrating when he was in the ward. He deliberately set it to vibrate before entering the ward. Sorry, I have to take this call. Hello, uncle. What? I haven't left yet. I'm in the hospital visiting a friend's family member. Okay, I'll go and have a look. Okay, that's it. I'm leaving. Hey, don't leave at noon, Li Maoshuang's cousin shouted. Wang Yao smiled and waved his hand. After leaving the general building, he went to the maternity building. What's going on? Hey, there's a child next to you who didn't pass the hearing screening this morning. What a coincidence. He heard what you said and came to ask me, Wang Yao's uncle said. Where is he? In the ward next door. I'll go and have a look. He may not believe me. Wang Yao went into the ward next door. Dr. Wang? As soon as he left, a middle-aged woman came forward to greet him enthusiastically. You are? Looking at the woman who was very enthusiastic about him, Wang Yao did not have any impression of her. You've treated me before. It's at Renha Clinic. Oh, hello. Wang Yao did treat patients in Pan Mei's clinic for a period of time. He had some reputation there at the beginning. Have you recovered? Well, after taking the medicine you gave me, I recovered in less than 20 days. My head is also different. I was about to go and thank you, but I didn't see you even though I went there a few times. The middle-aged woman was very enthusiastic. You came to see the patient? Yes, I'll take a look. Dr. Wang, can you take a look? A man in his 30s asked. His child also did not pass the hearing screening this morning. His family was very worried. I'll take a look, but I can't tell for sure, Wang Yao said. The child was just born less than a week ago. Some of his organs were not fully developed. He carefully examined the little guy lying on the baby bed. I can't say for sure, but there should be no problem. Let's wait for a month and see again. Oh, okay, thank you, the man said. Hey, Dr. Wang, you also know how to treat children? The middle-aged woman asked. I know a little. Can you take a look at my grandson? Mom, Xiaobei's hearing screening hasn't been done yet, the woman lying on the bed said. Hey, it's okay. Can you take a look? Wang Yao could not resist the middle-aged woman's enthusiasm. He took a look at the little guy. There should be no problem, Wang Yao said with a smile. He was not sure about this kind of thing. After taking a look, he went to the ward next door to talk to his uncle. He was going to leave first and come back in the afternoon. His mother stayed. His aunt was going to be discharged in the afternoon. Don't forget to come back in the afternoon. Got it. You can call me when the time comes. Hey, that young man is a doctor. In the ward next door, several family members accompanying the bed were talking about Wang Yao. Chapter 426. Yes, he is a doctor, and his medical skills are quite good, the middle-aged woman said. I have had headaches for more than a year, the middle-aged woman said. I went to the hospital and couldn't find the cause. I also saw a few Chinese medicine doctors, but the medicine they prescribed didn't work. Dr. Wang prescribed a course of medicine, and I was fine after taking it. Really? That doctor looks so young? Yes, I doubted it at first, but I believed it after experiencing it myself. The middle-aged woman looked like a fake. As soon as Wang Yao left the maternity building, he heard someone calling him. He followed the voice and found it was Pan Jun. Why are you here? My wife is giving birth here, Pan Jun said. My mother and I came to see her. Are you on duty today? Yes, on duty. By the way, there is something I want to ask you. What is it? Do you know that Li Maoshuang's uncle is hospitalized here? I know. I went to see him today. What's the matter? I guessed it was you. Pan Jun suddenly realized. I was wondering why they made such great progress in treating cancer, Pan Jun said. Who are they trying to fool? If they have the ability, why are they hiding here? What's going on? Wang Yao didn't come back to his senses for a while. After Pan Jun explained, he learned that Li Maoshuang's uncle's department found that the patient with advanced cancer had miraculously improved. It was not the kind of final radiance of the setting sun, so they were very surprised. After a few days of follow-up observation, they thought that their treatment plan had a considerable effect on the disease. They were preparing to write a report to the hospital to promote it. Let them talk nonsense. Hey, no, can you really treat cancer? Pan Jun was surprised. In his opinion, it was an amazing thing. After all, this disease was now a world-class medical problem. There was no treatment without side effects. Some cancers could only have a higher survival rate if they were treated early. If this problem was really solved, wouldn't it be a big prize? What do you think? Wang Yao asked with a smile. But I heard that his condition is getting better, Pan Jun said. It's getting better, but it's not cured, Wang Yao said. It's already a miracle that he's able to turn for the better. Pan Jun said. Come, let's go to my office. No thanks. Alright, when are you free? I'll go visit your uncle with you. I'm on duty today, so it'll be in the afternoon. I have to pick up my wife from the hospital this afternoon. Tomorrow? Okay, tomorrow. Since he had to come back in the afternoon, Wang Yao decided not to go back at noon. Instead, he went to Wang Mingbao's place. When she was still in the car, she heard her phone ringing nonstop. She picked it up and saw that it was a call from Qinzhou. Long Yunfei? He immediately guessed who the other party was. Hello. Hello, Dr. Wang. What's up? I sent a picture. Take a look at it when you're free. The voice on the other end of the phone was hoarse and weak. Thousands of miles away, Long Yunfei was sitting in a wheelchair. He seemed to have aged 10 years. His eyes were cloudy. During this period, he had used almost all the connections he could to get this thing done. As for when it would be implemented, it depended on the arrangement of the county. He had no control over it. Picture? After arriving at Wang Mingbao's place, Wang Yao opened the picture sent by Long Yunfei. There was more than one picture. It was a planning map. It was a road. It was a road from the mountain village to the county. In addition to this, there were documents issued by the relevant departments of the county. You really did it? Wang Yao asked with a smile. In fact, he was forcing Long Yunfei. It's about time. Even God left a way out. One could not be too ruthless. Come to hike within 3 days. Wang Yao sent him a text message. Phew. After receiving the text message, Long Yunfei let out a long sigh of relief. Finally, there is hope. This period of time had been torture for him. His life was gloomy. All the things he had done and the efforts he had made were, for one thing, to recover his health, stand up again, and measure the land. There should be an airport in Hike, right? He immediately made a call and asked someone to buy a plane ticket. However, there were no flights to Hike. There were only flights to Dao. He had to transfer to Hike. I'm sorry, Dr. Wang. I have other things to do. I can't go with you. During this period, he had not only suffered from the pain of his illness, but also saw the fickleness of the world. He saw that he could not stand up again, and his power in the work unit had been transferred. After all, no unit would be willing to appoint a person who could barely take care of himself as the leader of an important department unless he really had extraordinary abilities. Now that he had lost his power, the people who liked to surround him had also left. Even their hypocritical concern was gone. For a time, there were no people around. This was the reality. Naked reality. Forget it. In the beginning, he thought that once he regained power, he would not put any of these people in an important position. However, this idea gradually disappeared. These days, in addition to running about the road, he also picked up the books that he had put down for many years and studied the knowledge that he used to love. He even went to the mountain village and walked around carefully. He saw the naive children. He took the road partly for himself and partly for the children. His heart had changed. Dr. Long, I'll go with you. Thank you. At this critical time, it was rare to have someone who would not abandon him other than his family. You're welcome. In Lianshan County. Where are we going for lunch? The usual place. Okay. The two of them ordered 2 dishes and a soup. Let's order 2 more dishes. The two of us can't eat that much. After eating and chatting, they went to Wang Mingbao's restaurant and stayed for a while. His mother called him. He drove to the county hospital and busied himself with everything. Then, he drove his aunt back home. It was already past 3 p.m. by the time he was done. Then, the mother and son went home. Your uncle complained in front of me again, Zhang Xiaoying said in the car. What's wrong? Their factory hasn't paid their wages for more than 3 months. That long? Sigh, 2 children. Your aunt doesn't work. He's tired. What does he want? He wants to set up a small factory. By himself. Yes. Does he have money? He has a partnership. He's in charge of the technology. Wang Yao did not say anything more. After returning home and having dinner, he went back to Nanshan Hill. He had to go to town the next day to see the old man who was paralyzed in bed. While reading medical books, he received a call from Chen Ying. She said she would go back the next day and fly back in the afternoon. "I'll drive you." "It's no trouble," Chen Ying said. "It's no trouble. It's settled." When he was in Jing, Chen Ying took good care of his life. She also respected him from the bottom of her heart. He felt it and remembered it. The next morning, after preparing the decoction, Wang Yao drove to Lianshan County. After meeting up with Pan Jun, they went to his relative's house. There was a smell of Chinese medicine in the house. The old man in his 70s was decocting the decoction for his wife. When he saw Wang Yao, he hurriedly came forward to greet them. "Hello, Auntie. Come in and have a seat." The old man took out the good tea his son brought back from outside during the festival to serve them. The two old men were reluctant to drink it. "Come and have some tea." "Thank you." Wang Yao hurriedly got up. It was not appropriate to let such an old man pour tea for a junior. "Let's see the old man first." "Okay." The old man was still lying in bed, but his complexion looked better. "Are you taking the decoction?" "I've been taking it." The old man said his body has warmed up a lot these days. "Well, that's good. Don't stop." Wang Yao took out the decoction he brought. "I used the blood deblicking powder as a guide and supplemented with various other herbs. The medicinal properties are also to unblock the blood vessels and remove blood stasis. Come, drink this medicine." After feeding the old man the decoction, he continued to massage his acupoints to help spread the medicine. At the same time, he used a small amount of nashi to warm the old man's internal organs. After waiting for about an hour, Wang Yao began to massage the old man's head very carefully. Chapter 427. The old man only felt that his head was warm and a little swollen. His eyes were also a little swollen. "How do you feel?" "My hair is swollen and hot," the old man said. "Swollen and hot?" Wang Yao stopped what he was doing. He checked the old man's pulse for a while before moving away. He then sat by the bed and waited for an hour. An hour later, he checked the old man's pulse again. He then carefully and accidentally stimulated the acupoints and several meridians in the old man's head. The warm feeling in the old man's head had not faded, but it was surging like a rising tide, wave after wave. Only this time there was a slight headache. It was like being pricked by needles. The old man gasped. "What's wrong?" "My head hurts a little." "Pain?" Wang Yao hurriedly stopped. "Where is it?" "Well, it's hard to say. I'll gently press it. You tell me when it's there." "Okay." Wang Yao gently pressed a spot. "Is it here?" "Yes, it's here," the old man hurriedly said. This was where the problem was. It was where the thrombosis was. Sometimes, pain was not necessarily a bad thing. Wang Yao felt that this might be a good sign, but he chose to stop the treatment. Instead, he waited quietly by the bed. He checked the old man's pulse every half an hour. This continued until noon. The old man who had been waiting by the side at the beginning got up to prepare. He even prepared to kill one of his rabbit. "Tell the old man that we won't be having lunch here. I have to send someone to hike to take a plane," Wang Yao said to Pan Jun. "Okay." Pan Jun got up and went out. After a while, the old man came in. "Dr. Wang, do you want to stay for lunch?" "No, Auntie, really. I have to send a friend to the airport." "Thank you for your kindness," Wang Yao said with a smile. "Well, I've kept you busy all morning." "Not at all." After confirming that the old man was fine, he left. Before leaving, he left a portion of the medicine he had prepared and explained to the old man how to take it and what to pay attention to. "Take the medicine on time. Take it warm. I'm in a hurry. You should also take care of your body. Don't do any heavy work. Wang Yao could also tell that the old man's health was not very good. His back was already a little hunched. Ai. Then we'll be leaving. Auntie, please go in quickly. It's quite cold outside. Wang Yao and Pan Jun drove away from the village. The old man stood at the entrance of the alley until he could no longer see the car. Only then did he turn around and enter the house. This child is so kind. How much is the treatment fee? Pan Jun asked in the car. Let's talk about this after he's cured. Wang Yao waved his hand. Some people needed a lot of money to treat their illnesses, some people wouldn't treat them no matter how much money they were given, and some people didn't need money to treat their illnesses. Wang Yao had his own standards. Sometimes he would be capricious on a whim. For example, when he saw the two old people, he felt that they were like his own grandma and grandpa. It was a very amiable feeling. No one would complain about having too much money. As long as he felt that he had enough, it was fine. Let's have lunch together? No, I really have something to do. I really have to send a friend to the airport. Okay, just find a random intersection and drop me off. After dropping Pan Jun off, Wang Yao went to the hotel to pick up Chen Ying. There wasn't much luggage, just a simple bag of rice. Sorry, I had something to do in the morning, so I came a little late. You're too polite, Chen Ying replied with a smile. The car sped along the wide road. How is it? Do you have any impression of my hometown? It's quite good. I have a very deep impression of it, especially that mountain, Chen Ying said. It gives me the feeling of a paradise. Ha ha! Wang Yao laughed heartily. What was a paradise? In Taoism, it referred to the place where immortals lived. Most of them were famous mountains. Nowadays, there were no immortals in the world. In terms of scenery, Nanshan Hill was indeed not considered a paradise. However, the aura there was very rich. It was rare in the world. The small mountain was not inferior to those famous mountains and mountains. It wasn't too much to say that it was a blessed land. It took less than 2 hours to drive from Lianshan to the airport in hike. At noon, there were not many cars on the road. Wang Yao drove a little faster and arrived at the airport in 1.5 hours. Thank you for your hospitality these few days. Hey, what hospitality? Wang Yao waved his hand and accompanied her to walk around the mountain. You can go back. I'm not in a hurry. After chatting with her for a while in the departure lounge, Wang Yao left after hearing the boarding announcement. Thank you, Chen Ying repeated. Yes. Chen Ying thanked him so much that Wang Yao felt a little embarrassed. In fact, he could not completely understand Chen Ying's mentality at this time. In her opinion, Wang Yao was a real expert, the kind that was superior to them. Therefore, she was very respectful to him, mixed with a trace of inexplicable fear. She had seen all kinds of methods on the Great Wall. He could summon the wind and rain. The curtain of rain covered the sky and earth, but he was not stained at all. This was a cultivation base, a true cultivation base. It was close to godlike. Bon voyage. After watching Chen Ying leave, Wang Yao turned and left. On the way back, he deliberately took a detour. He was interested and went to the seaside scenic spot to have a look. It was already winter. The wind was very strong at the seaside. Basically, there were not many people. It was very cold and cheerless. Wang Yao stood by the seaside and felt the whistling of the sea wind. At the seaside, the sand under his feet was soft. The wind was strong and the waves were strong. He stood quietly by the seaside and released his neishi to communicate with heaven and earth. Whoosh! A wave surged over. Wang Yao slowly pushed out his palm. Then, a big gap appeared at the place where his palm was. He pushed out his palm one after another. One gap after another appeared in the wave. He looked around and found that there was no one near him. Then, he took a deep breath. His neishi flowed like a big river. Air-splitting punch. He used all his strength in this punch. Pop! There was a sound out of nowhere like the sound of a cannon. Bang! the wave exploded. At the place where the fist was pointing, there was a ditch in the turbulent sea, extending to a distance of 30 feet. Although it was very short, it was soon submerged by the sea on both sides. At the moment when he punched, the chi in this part of the world stagnated. In an instant, it was as if it had been sucked out. Very good. Even on Nanshan Hill, he had not punched with all his strength. He looked at the tide coming and going. His nashi was also fluctuating. It advanced and retreated like the tide. It seemed to be a good idea to stand here often. The mountain was a mountain, and the sea was the sea. The mountain was high, and the sea was wide. It was a different artistic conception. Wang Yao was now half a practitioner and half a doctor. He stayed at the seaside until nearly 5 p.m. Then, he turned around and left. At this time, it was already dark. "What are you doing?" Suddenly, he heard a woman shouting in the woods by the seaside. "Not here. Go back." "Here. It's exciting." "What the hell?" Wang Yao instantly understood what the two people in the woods were going to do. On such a cold day, at such a seaside, with the sea breeze whistling, they were actually in the mood to do it. They were really not ordinary people. Were people nowadays so tasteful? Was it very expensive to get a room? Bang! Wang Yao's deep voice was like thunder out of nowhere. "What the hell is this?" The couple in the woods was startled. They thought they had seen a ghost and hurried out of the woods. However, they saw no one. "What's going on?" "It's not good to be outside in such a cold day. It will damage your vital yang. It's easy to catch a cold. I'm doing it for your own good." Wang Yao muttered to himself as he walked. After leaving the seaside, he drove back home. The hot dishes were already on the table. Home is still the best. Wang Yao sighed for no reason. "Where did you go today?" "I saw a friend, Chen Ning. He went back to Jing City today." "He went back?" "Yes." "What about his brother's illness?" "After this period of time, I still have to go to Jing City." Wang Yao drank a mouthful of soup. After dinner, Wang Yao chatted with his parents at home for a while. He went back to Nanshan Hill. He planned to go to Jing City the next day. However, it was not to see Li Maoshuang's uncle, but to see another person, Zhou Xiong's uncle. He had been in Lianshan County for a while. He lived in the house rented by Zhou Xiong. A few days ago, Wang Yao went to see him. His condition was stable. Chapter 428. The next step of treatment was to straighten out and dredge the meridians, dredge the remaining toxins that had penetrated deep into the internal organs, and regather. Although there were many symptoms, the general idea was clear. There were also drugs. That old man still wanted to preserve his cultivation. That would be a little difficult. Wang Yao didn't go to bed until late at night. The next morning, the weather was clear, but the wind was a little strong. Winter is so bleak. Zhou Wui, who was standing in the window with a cane, sighed as he looked at the trees without leaves. There was no vitality in winter, just like him now. "Ah," he sighed. "Uncle, Dr. Wang is here. Invite him in." There was a heater in the room, so it was very warm. Wang Yao came today with the blood deblicking powder and regather soup that he had brewed. "Hello." "Hello, Dr. Wang." Zhou Wui's complexion was not good. When he walked, he was also trembling. He looked like a piece of paper that would be blown away by a gust of wind. He was not as imposing as he used to be. Without further ado, Wang Yao directly treated the old man. A cup of medicine. It was warm to the abdomen. In half an hour, Wang Yao began to massage the old man's meridians and acupoints to dredge the meridians and acupoints between the chest and abdomen. He massaged once to stimulate the old man's body. The old man's forehead was sweating, followed by his body. His body was still trembling slightly. "How do you feel?" "Very comfortable," the old man said. "Ha ha." Wang Yao smiled. "Comfortable?" It shouldn't be. He felt that the old man's body should be tingling now, and it should not be in one place. The dredging of meridians and collaterals was mostly accompanied by a certain degree of discomfort. It was rarely gentle. Of course, it could be done with special drugs. However, the old man's body still had the uncontrollable internal qi, so it would naturally be more painful. The internal qi was like a headless goshawk. Sometimes it would bump into things randomly. The treatment took a long time. It lasted until noon. Okay, you can take a rest. Okay. Zhou Wui lay on the bed. He didn't have much strength left in his body. I suggest that you don't try to mobilize the neishi in your body. It's out of control, just like a runaway horse. Try not to stimulate it as much as possible, Wang Yao said. All right, I'll listen to you. The old man sighed. Over the past few days, he had indeed tried more than once to regulate the once obedient neishi, but without exception, just like before, he failed. Moreover, it made his body more painful. Rest more. I suggest you read more scriptures, Wang Yao said. Scriptures? What scriptures? Dao scripture, Wang Yao said. Huangting Jing, Huinanzi, and the like are all fine. What's the use? Zhou Wui asked curiously. It can calm you down, Wang Yao said. Although Zhou Wui was already an old man in his 70s, his temper didn't disappear because of his age. Wang Yao could also see this. This old man was a typical example of being hot-tempered. This kind of character didn't do any good for recovery. Haha. Zhou Wui probably understood the meaning of Wang Yao's words. He smiled. At his age, it was actually very difficult to change his temper and character, unless there was a very big change, just like the time he experienced a life-and-death disaster. Unfortunately, there was not much change. In fact, he was still thinking about revenge now. Don't rush back at noon. Let's have lunch together. Okay. Wang Yao said. Zhou Xiong didn't invite anyone else. He only invited Wang Yao. His cousin had to accompany his father. There were a few simple dishes in the small pub downstairs. How long do you think it will take for my uncle to recover? Zhou Xiong said. It's hard to say. It depends on him. Mood is very important. I guess it will take a month, Wang Yao said. In fact, his illness was less serious than Su Xiaoshue's and Sun Yunxing's. However, as an old person, his mood was not as good as those two, especially Su Xiaoxue. Her personality and mood were really very good. She was open-minded, clear, relaxed, and had no desires. She smiled more often, which had a positive effect on the recovery of the illness. She was broad-minded and fat. She would be 10 years younger if she smiled. These sayings were quite reasonable. While eating, Wang Yao received a text message. I have come to hike. I am at Shanghai Resort. The person who sent the text message was Long Yunfei. He came quite quickly. Wait. He just replied with one word. In the hotel in hike. Long Yunfei was by the floor-to-ceiling window, looking at the sea in the distance. He was in a very calm mood. When he received the news, he was a little excited and happy. However, when he really arrived in hike, he calmed down a lot. He sat there quietly for the whole afternoon, looking at the sea, thinking about a lot of things. Has Xiao Jiang been to hike? No, director. Well, it's a pity that it's not the time now. It's winter, Long Yunfei said. Otherwise, I could go to the seaside. He didn't receive any messages or phone calls from Wang Yao for the whole afternoon. The sky was gradually getting dark. Let's go and eat. Okay. In hike, the specialty was naturally seafood. Long Yunfei was in a good mood. He even drank a glass of red wine. Director, I think you have changed, said the young man who accompanied him to take care of his daily life. Oh, how have I changed? You have become a lot more indifferent, said the young man surnamed Jiang after thinking for a while. Indifferent, well, indifferent is good, he said with a smile. Nothing happened that night. Are you going to hike? Yes, I'm going to see an ancient person, Wang Yao said with a smile. Will you come back for lunch at noon? Not necessarily. You don't have to wait for me. Drive safe. Okay. After breakfast, Wang Yao informed his family and drove to hike. He went directly to Long Yunfei's hotel. I'm in the lobby. He received a message. After a while, he saw Long Yunfei come down in a wheelchair. At this time, Long Yunfei's previous indifference and calmness had disappeared. He was a little excited. Seeing this young man again, he had a very complicated feeling. It would be a lie to say that he didn't hate him. He hated him, and still hated him. However, he also wanted to thank him. In other words, he wanted to thank him for this accident. It allowed him to see through a lot of things and people. At 40, he didn't have any doubts. At 50, he knew his destiny. However, not many people could do it. Hello, Dr. Wang. Long time no see. Hello, Dr. Long, welcome to hike. Wang Yao smiled. He was a little surprised because of the change in Long Yunfei's body. Long Yunfei's complexion was a little worse, but his eyes were clear. The eyes were the window to the soul. Through a pair of eyes one could see through something. This person had changed. He was calm and indifferent. He understood the words of Buddhism. Let's talk in my room. Okay. The three of them went to Long Yunfei's room. Long Yunfei took out some documents, including the transfer of patent and some documents about the road. They were legal and efficient and official. When I came here, the road had already started construction. Construction started in winter. The road needs to be widened. Some things need to be cleaned up. It is estimated that the construction will be completed in July next year. By the way, I want to thank Mr. Sun Jingrong from Dao. After he heard the news, he donated some money for the construction of the road, Long Yunfei said. Oh! Wang Yao was a little surprised. He had never heard Long Yunfei mention this matter. Yes, I have to thank him. I have to thank you too. Wang Yao looked at Long Yunfei. You don't have to. I did it for myself, Long Yunfei said. He admitted it straightforwardly. Ha ha. Wang Yao smiled. Come on, let me take a look at you. Wang Yao reached out to feel Long Yunfei's pulse. Well, the degree of development is similar to what he expected. Go and lie on the bed. He reached out and repeatedly pressed Long Yunfei's waist several times, then his abdomen. The whole process only took about 10 minutes. It's done. It's done. Long Yunfei was a little surprised. He just felt that his abdomen and waist were warm on one side and connected into a ring. You can stand up in 3 days, Wang Yao calmly said. After hearing the news, Long Yunfei's body trembled a few times. He was not too excited and he did not cry. Okay. He sighed. Goodbye. Take care. Long Yunfei walked him to the door. He watched the young man disappear at the entrance of the elevator. Director, this person. Chapter 429. Forget it. Long Yunfei waved his hand. If it were him in the past, he would definitely find a way to vent his anger. All that talk about eradicating enmity with a smile when we meet is just nonsense. But now? He had really gotten over it and gotten over it. Moreover, there was no need to provoke such a young man. Some enmity could be slowly faded. It was not like the hatred of killing one's father or stealing one's wife. It could not be resolved. Let's go to see the sea. Okay, I'll push you there. Long Yunfei came to the window and looked at the rippling sea in the distance. There was no sea in Qinzhou. There were mountains, which were magnificent and steep. They were extraordinary. There was charm and momentum in the mountains. There was vastness and vastness in the sea. The waves reached the sky as far as the eye could see. He suddenly felt that his legs had a reaction. He tried to move them. They really had a reaction. Great. Haha, he laughed out loud. In this situation, he couldn't be indifferent. The young man behind him also laughed. Wang Yao drove around Hike and went to the seaside. He then went back to Lianshan County. When he returned to the mountain village, he found several strangers in his house. "Dr. Wang, you are back. What happened?" "We came to see you, but the clinic was not open. So we came to your house." "If the clinic is not open, you can't come to my house," Wang Yao said seriously. The people were stunned. "It's okay. Let them come," Zhang Xiuying said. "No, this is my rule. Let's go to the clinic." Only this time, Wang Yao turned and left. The people were a little surprised. They didn't know why the young man, who was said to have a good temper, suddenly changed his character. They didn't dare to ask more. They followed him to the clinic and saw the notice in a very conspicuous place. "I can't go to his house anymore." These were the thoughts of the people at this time. Although they didn't know why, they had to follow this rule if they wanted to continue to see the doctor. Come one by one. The old and the weak come first. The first person he saw was an old man in his 60s. He was coughing non-stop. "How long have you had a cold?" Wang Yao didn't even need to check his pulse. Just by listening to the sound of his breathing, he could tell that it was a cold and inflammation that had already reached his lungs. Ahem, it's been more than 10 days. Wang Yao reached out and tried. "Why didn't you go to the hospital with pneumonia caused by your cold?" "Well, I went and took the medicine, but it didn't work," the old man said. "What medicine did you take?" The old man told Wang Yao about the medicine he took. "These medicines should be effective. Do you insist on taking them?" Wang Yao asked. Yes, he stopped for a few days in his middle age because he had diarrhea after taking medicine, the old man said. "That's right. You have to listen to the doctor's instructions when taking medicine. Take it for a few days and stop it for a few days. The effect of the medicine hasn't been fully exerted. If you stop taking it before you recover, it won't work." "Then, can you give me those medicines?" the old man asked. "Okay, I'll prescribe some medicine for you." Wang Yao wrote a list and filled the prescription. He also prescribed anti-inflammatory and anti-cold medicine. He added some warm and nourishing herbs and some anti-diarrhea effect. It was just an ordinary prescription. The speed of the effect was even slower than the Western medicine the old man took. "This medicine has to be taken for 7 days. It can't be stopped." "Oh, I see. Thank you." The old man took the medicine, paid, and left. The second patient was a middle-aged woman in her 40s. "Dr. Wang, my leg hurts in winter," the woman said. "Let me take a look." Wang Yao looked carefully. Her leg had been injured before. The injury was quite serious. "Your leg has been injured before?" "Yes, I was in a car accident. This leg was fractured in winter." "It was about the same as now," the woman said. "The weather was cold, and it wasn't treated well. It left the root of the disease. Some diseases didn't break out unless the season was right. It was very magical. Come on, let me give you a massage." Wang Yao added nashi to his palm. He rubbed and pressed along the meridians in the woman's leg. He massaged back and forth on the woman's leg. The woman only felt warm in her leg. It was very comfortable. The previous pain had disappeared. "It's so comfortable." The nashi was like water moisturizing the earth. It seeped into the meridians and melted the coldness hidden in the depths of the body's tissues. The spring breeze turned into rain. "How do you feel?" "Much better." The woman got up and moved her leg. She walked back and forth in the room. Her whole leg was very nimble. The innate coldness and tingling feeling had disappeared. "You are really a miracle doctor," she exclaimed. "You flatter me." Wang Yao hurriedly waved his hand. In his opinion, it was too much praise. Anything that had the word miracle attached to it was a very high honor. Ordinary people couldn't afford it. "How much is it?" the woman asked. $200, Wang Yao hesitated and said. It was really hard for him to set the price. 200 yuan was fine, 2000 yuan was also fine, because the nashi he used was only in this shop, and there was no other shop. Moreover, a general massage now cost 50 or 100 yuan, so his price was really not expensive. However, for ordinary people, the price was actually not cheap. Think about it. Medicine for headaches and colds only cost around $10 or $10. An intravenous drip only cost around $100. Those could be seen and touched. Massages were services. Okay, $200 it is. The woman paid the money very quickly. In fact, she thought the price was a bit expensive. After all, her leg was cured. At least it was temporarily fine. Thank you. Take care. The third person was a woman in her 30s. She came with her son. The child was about 7 or 8 years old. He didn't look very good. He looked listless. When he breathed, he had bad breath. Doctor, my son doesn't like to eat. He has diarrhea, the woman said. Let me see. The spleen and stomach were not in harmony. Digestion was not good. Have you given him anthelmintics? The woman asked. Yes, the woman said. There were parasites in the child's body. The situation was quite serious. There are parasites in his stomach. The situation is quite serious. The woman was stunned. I've given him anthelmintics according to the doctor's instructions, the woman said. Well, I'll prescribe some anthelmintics for him first. You take it to get rid of the parasites in his body first. Then you can adjust his body. Okay. Wang Yao thought for a while and decided to follow the prescription mentioned in the medical case in Treatise on Miscellaneous Diseases. Dark plum, dried tangerine peel, betel nut, rhubarb, pinelia, rangoon, aurantium, Coptis chinensis, and scutellaria. It was to be well prepared. There were 3 doses. 1 dose a day for 3 days. Avoid spicy, greasy, raw, and cold. My son doesn't dare to eat those things, the woman said. Okay, come back in 3 days. After paying the bill, the woman left with her son. In the mountain village, Sun Jingrong bought 2 houses for his son. The construction speed was quite fast. The foundation solidified about 7 days before they started to build the wall. This speed is a bit fast. Won't the foundation solidify for more than 10 days? I heard they bought high-grade cement. I don't know what they added. In short, they are rich people. They are building with all their might. TSK. The people in the village sighed. They didn't know who had nowhere to spend their money. They actually came to this small mountain village to build houses. In a mountain village in Lianshan County, in an old house, on a warm brick bed, an old man moved gently. Old woman, he shouted. What's wrong? I feel that I can move my toes. What? The old woman hurriedly got up. She put on her reading glasses and carefully stared at the old man's toes. He could really move his toes. That's great, the old woman happily said. It's a good thing. Dr. Wang is really capable. It was a good start. Just like the recovery of all things, there must be a sign. In the clinic, Wang Yao carefully recorded the conditions, treatment methods, and medicine of the patients he had seen that day. Next, he would wait for them to come back and see the results of the treatment. Chapter 430. These were all extremely rare materials, accumulations of experience, and things that could be passed on. When treating some special diseases, the same or similar cases would often be used to determine the treatment plan and choose the drugs. This morning, Wang Yao went to the People's Hospital in Lianshan County again to treat Li Maoshuang's uncle. Dr. Wang, how is my father? It was not convenient to be in the ward. Li Maoshuang's cousin asked Wang Yao in the corner of the corridor. His condition is stable, Wang Yao said. There is a trend of improvement. Oh, good. Thank you. I'll go first. Let's have lunch together at noon. No. Wang Yao smiled and waved his hand. Is this the treatment fee? He had asked this question more than once. Let's talk about it later, Wang Yao said. The reason why he tried to treat the patient was first because of Li Maoshuang's request, and second, because the system suddenly issued a task. The treatment itself was experimental. All the drugs used were licorice roots, and the price was extremely high. According to the previous charging standard, it would be at least 1 million yuan. However, Wang Yao had been thinking about whether the price was appropriate for experimental treatment with the patient's body and life. In the future, he would try to understand these things as much as possible before the treatment. To avoid unnecessary misunderstandings, this matter could only be put aside temporarily and discussed later. It was not a prescription provided by the system, so the price could be set by him. The conversation between them was heard by others. In the ward, a family member accompanying the patient asked his cousin, "I think your father looks good." "Ah, much better. Brother, do you want to go out for a smoke?" The family member accompanying the patient asked Li Maoshuang's cousin to go out. After lighting the cigarette, the family member asked, "Well, can Dr. Wang cure this disease?" Li Maoshuang's cousin was stunned when he heard that. There was no wall in the world that did not have a crack. Moreover, they were in the same ward. Wang Yao had come several times, so it was impossible to avoid him. "He knows how to treat illnesses," he answered after thinking for a while. "Well, can you ask him to take a look at my father?" Well, Li Maoshuang's cousin was in a dilemma. He had heard from his cousin that Dr. Wang was already a great honor to be able to treat his father. Moreover, Dr. Wang was not confident that he could cure his father's disease. This was nonsense. Other than the gods, no one had absolute confidence that they could cure a terminal illness. The key was that he could not say this out loud. "I'm sorry." He shook his head. "Please tell him that we are willing to pay," the man said anxiously. Seeing that the old man lying on the hospital bed was getting worse day by day, the attending doctor in the hospital also tactfully expressed his opinion. In the past few days, he had found that the old man's complexion was obviously much better than his father's with the same terrible disease. He could talk and eat. His father did not even have much strength to speak. He breathed in more than he breathed out less. It seemed that he was going to die. The difference was that there seemed to be a young man in the clinic who came back every 2 days. He would feel the old man's pulse and bring something special to the old man, which was very much like decoction. "Well, I don't want to make things difficult for you. Can I ask him next time when he comes?" "Okay." Li Maoshuang's cousin nodded. They were all children, so they could understand each other's feelings. In a house somewhere in Lianshan County. "Mom, I have a stomachache." A child covered his stomach and shouted in pain. There were beads of sweat on his face. "Xiaodo, what's wrong?" His mother was very anxious. "I'll take you to the hospital." I need to go to the toilet." The child rushed into the toilet. A moment later, there was a loud scream. "What's wrong, Xiaodo?" The woman heard the scream and rushed into the toilet. She saw her son holding his pants and looking at the toilet bowl. His face was pale with fear. The woman looked and saw there were more than a dozen worms in the feces in the toilet bowl. They were the size of small earthworms and were still wriggling. "Oh my God!" She hurriedly closed the toilet lid and flushed them down. "Don't be afraid. These are the worms in your stomach. You'll be fine once they are out." She hugged her son and softly comforted him. The child calmed down under the comfort of his mother. "Mom, did the medicine work?" "Yes, it must be," the woman said. It seemed that the medicine prescribed by the young doctor was effective. "Then, after I eat a few more times, my stomach won't hurt anymore and I won't vomit, right?" "Yes, it will be fine in the future." Well, the child nodded obediently. That afternoon, a guest came to Wang Yao's clinic. It was Tian Yuantu. "You haven't been here for a long time? Have some tea." The aroma of Kimun black tea was strong. I want to tell you something, Wang Yao said. The charity foundation we organized is ready to open. We have to choose an auspicious day. We have to choose an auspicious day, Wang Yao said. Can you find someone to check the date? Okay, let everyone know when it's decided. We'll go together. Okay. By the way, how's your company going? It's listed. Can we make the deal? No, we have to wait for a while, Tian Yuantu said. I saw construction workers in the village. Are they from Dao? Oh, Sun Jingrong bought 2 houses here. It's convenient for his son to see a doctor, Wang Yao said. Well, are there any vacant houses in your village? I think there are 2 more, Wang Yao said. He had asked his father about this matter. There were 2 or 3 vacant houses in the village. They were the kind of old stone houses with a history of decades. No one lived in them. Okay, I'll buy one when I have time. What do you want to do with it? The quality of the air in the mountains is good, Tian Yuantu said with a smile. Ha! Wang Yao laughed. It was said that the air in the mountains was good. If people from the big cities came to live there for a day or 2, it would be good. It was fresh for a while, but it wouldn't take long. After living there for a week, people would feel bored. There were no bars, no karaoke halls, no supermarkets, and no restaurants. Life there was simple and plain. It was not as colorful as the big cities. I'll help you confirm it and let you know the news. Okay. Tian Yuantu didn't lack money. It didn't cost much to buy 4 big tile-roofed houses in such a mountain village. In such a place, far from the suburbs, there were no classics or resorts nearby. It was estimated that it would cost less than 100,000 yuan. In fact, most of the young people in the village had moved to the city. Most of the people left were middle-aged people and old people. I'm leaving. Okay, take care. Wang Yao walked him out of the door. Buy a house and come to the village? Tian Yuantu deliberately stopped when he walked into the village. He got out of the car and looked at the 2 newly built houses. The design was very delicate. At first glance, he knew it was designed by a high-end designer. The 2 houses were connected to each other. There were 8 big tile-roofed houses. It was very spacious. There could be a basketball court in the yard. Not bad. He walked around and nodded. He understood why Sun Jingrong built such a house there. It should be for his son's illness. It was convenient for him to receive treatment. In fact, there was no need for him to do that. At about 5 p.m., Wang Yao closed the clinic and went home for dinner. There was one more person at home. It was Du Mingyang. He was helping Wang Yao's mother cook in the kitchen. Hey, you're back. He smiled and greeted Wang Yao. Hello. Wang Yao smiled and shook hands with him. You don't need to. Do go to the nest and talk with your uncle. Okay. What's going on? Wang Yao said. I don't know. He just came in the afternoon. He brought a lot of things. Does my sister know? I guess she doesn't know, Zhang Xiuying said. I'll tell my sister. Don't. I think this young man is good. Let's observe him first. Observe? Mom, don't joke. If my sister doesn't agree, what are you observing? While they were talking, the iron door was opened with a bang. It was kicked open. A woman rushed in from outside. Sister, why are you back? You don't have a holiday today, do you? Cut the crap. Where is Du Mingyang? He's in the house, Wang Ru said. She rushed into the house like a gust of wind. In the living room, Du Mingyang was respectfully pouring water for her father. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.